Hello everyone and welcome to another VHS Vault! How's everyone doing? Hoping your end of your weekend's going well. How are y'all doing on YouTube and Twitch? If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream, hit the thumbs up, it would be appreciated. As you can see, the cat made costume one today, so meow or whatever. Over on Twitch chat, hey Mr. Blast, how's it going? Phoenix Leftist, thank you for a 225 stream streak. Jeesh. And German Cow JJ with a 12-month streak says, happy 1-year anniversary. Back at you. Thanks for all of your viewership. I appreciate it. Today we are, of course, diving back into the VHS vault. We have tons of kids shows and stuff, PSAs, weird forgotten instructional videos, workplace instructional stuff, just weird stuff I was able to find online. A few things courtesy of VC Archives, who was wonderful. Yeah, so it should be good. We have a bunch of fun stuff to take a look at today. I'm avoiding anything spooky because we did, like, all the VHS stuff last month was like, Halloween related because it was October. So since that season is over, I am trying to avoid anything Halloween adjacent for a little bit just because I don't want to overload you on spooky stuff. So yeah, should be a pretty normal VHS today. Ashley One Up with 50 bits says, I stumbled upon this 1947 Raggedy Ann cartoon on YouTube today if you're interested. Thank you. I think I've heard of this, though I don't remember exactly where from. Appreciate it. And Janerdy with a 70 stream streak says, my viewing this weekend, Friday, Agatha, Saturday, Agatha, Sunday, Lower Decks. You'd think I was a nerd or some shit. Nice. I haven't actually gotten, is the new season of Lower Decks out? I haven't started it yet. I liked Agatha, though. The ending was maybe a little flat, but, like, it was overall a really good series, and I like Catherine Hahn. So. My water? Hey, Amber, how's it going? I'm alright. Like 3 episodes of Lower Decks out? Okay, maybe I'll wait till the whole season's out and just binge it or something. Really liked that series. I'm sad it's ending after 5 seasons. I think they could have gone longer, but whatever. Hey Trey, how's it going? Alright, let's jump into it, shall we? What are we gonna start with? Try this. This is called The Sharp Wits in Lure of the Library. I feel like we're gonna learn about the Dewey Decimal System. Am I crazy, or did Dewey of the Dewey Decimal System do some weird sexual thing? Am I crazy? Someone Google Dewey Decimal System sex and see what comes up. Let me know. Oh! Early 2000s, late 90s editing. Beautiful.
You are about to embark on the greatest adventure your mind has ever known. It starts here.
Am I thinking of the Wonder Woman lie detector guy? I'm not. I'm not thinking of that guy. Though he was kinky.
The headquarters of the most brilliant kid
Let me look this up. I'll look this up on my phone right now, because it's gonna bother me, and apparently no one else wants to Google it. I feel like he was disgraced or something. Dewey Decimal System sex. Very normal. Very normal thing to Google. No, I'm not looking for sex in the Dewey Decimal System. What's the name of the guy? Dewey, obviously. Who invented the Dewey Decimal System? Who invented Melville Dewey? A fake-ass name. I know it's his real name, but it sounds fake. Let me look at his Wikipedia. There we go. His legacy is marred by his sexual harassment of female colleagues, as well as his racism and anti-Semitism. Makes sense.
detectives in the world, the Sharpwits. With a thirst for discovery to rival none, the Sharpwits have dedicated their young lives to solving the many riddles of the universe. They've discovered what it really means when your favorite dinner table is booked. They've figured out why you put a book back with the spine facing out.
So you can read it? So people know what the books are? Are there people who put the spines inward? Who are you people?
They've discovered the best way to cover your book.
Oh no, it's got the guy! This has the guy in it! Oh no, is this a sequel to the other thing? Oh god! You remember the horrifying Flesh book? I didn't know that he was in this. I didn't realize this was related. No, not Salty, although we did joke that this guy's related to Salty. We watched a previous library PSA that had this horrifying Necronomicon being. He's awful. He's genuinely awful.
Join them now as they uncover the lure of the library.
Our story begins with Gator and Snooper searching for a mysteriously missing book.
That looks like a death trap. Maybe don't stay there, kids. It looks like they precariously placed a wooden box on those branches. I don't know if that's structurally secure.
I know it's here somewhere. It was this really great book about whales. Hey, Trax, how's the experiment going?
It's doing great.
Their
but
treehouse is a TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
I'm not quite there yet. I think this will do the trick. What a mess.
Gator, watch where you're going.
Oops, sorry.
I can never find the book I want in here. It's such a mess.
Hey, someone should organize these books. Then we'd be able to find the one we want quickly. And I guess that someone should be me. Okay. There.
I don't get it, Gator. How are they organized?
By color, see? You have the greens, the oranges, the reds, and then you have the blues, grays, and whites.
How's that
I've seen people arrange their Blu-ray collections by color, and that bothers me.
going to help me find my book?
Easy, just remember the color of the book you read.
That is so incredibly... Never mind. Let me just try to organize it my own way.
Suit yourself.
I understand that this is going to be a segue into the Dewey Decimal System, but like for a collection this small, it probably makes most sense to just do like alphabetical or by genre. I don't think you need a Dewey Decimal System, you're like 24 books.
There.
So how are they organized?
By author.
But what if you don't know the author?
Then I guess you'd organize them by title.
But what if you don't know the title?
Then I guess you'd organize them by subject.
But what if you don't know the subject?
Gator!
If you don't even know the subject of the book, even the Dewey Decimal System isn't going to help you. That's what it's arranged by.
How about by shape? Or size?
How do I sort my Blu-rays? By genre and subgenre. So, like, I have a section that's, like, horror, and then within horror, they're grouped by, like, slasher movies, gothic horror, universal horror, Alfred Hitchcock stuff is together. I have a shelf of Stephen King, adaptations. Just depends. It's usually personal for me. It's based on my own personal judgments about genre, subgenre, and potentially if there's, like, someone who's makes a lot of movies in that genre, they will get their own section. Peoplord says, fun fact on flesh books, in some long-standing traditional Jewish families, the family Torah is bound and repaired with the foreskins of all the first sons of each generation. Go on, prove me wrong, Google it. I'd rather not Google it. I don't want to Google foreskins. There was a joke that I have cut off and put in a vault for no one to hear.
There.
So how are they organized?
By author.
But what if you don't know the author?
Then I guess you'd organize them by title.
But what if you don't know the title?
Then I guess you'd organize them...
How about
Befuddled.
or size?
The Sharpwits were baffled, befuddled, bewildered, besides themselves, be, or not to be.
There's got to be a better way to organize books.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Whoa! What are all those green footprints?
What footprints?
The footprints all over the clubhouse.
What are you talking about? I don't see any footprints.
You would if you had these glasses on.
Whoa, this is really great. It worked, Gator.
What
Those
worked?
glasses give you detective mode.
You see, we were trying an experiment. We painted the bottom of Sherlock's sneakers with this special paint that tracks whipped up to see if we could track him. We didn't think it would work because we didn't see any marks at all.
Well, let's track him.
Yeah, great
Come on,
idea.
Mom.
Okay,
he came
let's go.
over here. Yeah. Oh, really?
Okay, where else did he go? Okay.
The Sharpwits realized, as I already had, that they were able to track me wherever I went with the use of these funny sunglasses.
I used to have glasses like that with the weird holographic
they followed
eyeballs.
the strange
Fun.
trail of my invisible footprint. But what they didn't know was I had a few tricks up my sneaker.
On the glasses. He's not paying attention.
But the wits bravely forged on until they found themselves at the library. The witch tracked me to the computer catalog, which was my first stop in the library. You see, all the books in a library are listed in the catalog.
Why is it so dark in here? Oh.
Shh. Looks like he stopped here first.
Well, why would we stop here?
He must have been looking for a book.
I missed the flash book.
I guess you can look up your book 5 different ways in the catalog. By author, by title, by subject, by keywords in the title, and by call number.
I wonder why they don't have it done by color. Yeah, organized by color. Gator. What?
If you know the title or the author of the book that you want, you can look it up in a catalog that way. That's easy.
Hey, let's try looking up one of my personal favorite books, Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Whoa, you're a fast typer.
Thanks. Title, Where the Sidewalk Ends. Author, Shel Silverstein.
It's the best.
It
I
also
think that's the best, like, compliment you can get is, wow, you're a fast typer.
has the publisher, the
That's the energy I want moving forward.
date, the number of pages if it's
I'm not a fast typer.
available, and sometimes a short summary.
Call number. What's that?
But what the Sharpwits didn't realize was they had just stumbled upon the very key to unlocking the mystery of the library.
Peep Lord with 40 bits says, do library flash books have one of those little pockets in the cover for the checkout card? I hate you.
The call numbers.
Did you hear something?
I don't know. But suddenly, I feel like we stumbled upon the very key to unlocking the mysteries of the library.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they had a little clue.
Hey, check this out.
Whoa, what is it? What is it? Come on.
It looks like the same kind of number on the computer catalog screen. So, Sherlock must have looked up the book he wanted in the catalog and then wrote down the number.
Hi, that must be how you find the book. You match the numbers on the book to the numbers on the stacks.
Stacks?
Yeah, the bookshelves.
Oh, I get it. Just like finding a house when you have an address.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, the wits are at the top of
Hey,
their
12P,
form
how's it
today.
going?
They have discovered that the call number is the key to locating your book in the library.
Every book has a call number on its spine. The number has a decimal point in it. If you look at the number as if it was money, it will help you figure out which number is higher or lower, so you can find your book. Usually, there are letters below the number. The letters are usually the author's name or the first few letters of the author's name. The call numbers are part of...
Not enough evil flesh book in this. I'm gonna move on. I'm glad they learned a great deal about how to find books before all the libraries get closed by Republicans. Oh, this is weird. So, I don't know if people remember the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. It was the animated Mario series that was a thing in, like, the 80s and 90s. In between the animated segments, they had little segments with professional wrestler Captain Lou Albano, who played Mario. There was another guy that played Luigi, and they had little antics. Now that's fun. I'm sure we've seen some of those, and I think we've watched a few clips on this show before. But there was a time where the animated show continued running, but they switched out those interstitial segments. And this is one of the more, like, aggressively 90s, like, interstitial things I've seen, so this'll be fun.
This is Fox 29, WUTV, Buffalo.
Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
Mario.
Club Mario!
Grab your board, hold on to your hat. Satellite surfing is where it's at the club. Club Mario. We're at the club.
Mario.
Name any place that you wanna go. We'll take you there.
Are you telling me Captain Lou Albano wasn't extreme enough for the 90s? You goddamn children.
Oh, don't you know we're at the club? Club Mario. And join the club.
Club Mario.
Hey, you only got the cartoon, not the live-action segments. It sucks, because to this day, the live-action segments have not been released on DVD. I own some of the Mario cartoon on DVD, but it's just the animated segments. It does not include any of the Captain Lou Albano stuff, which is a real disappointment, because frankly, that's the charming stuff. I don't know if you've seen the animated Mario Brothers show. It's terrible. Not even in really, like, a endearing way. Like, there's a lot of cartoons that are pretty bad that I can enjoy as a so bad they're good thing. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show gets old real quick. The animated, you'll laugh for about 5 minutes at how bad it is and all the animation mistakes, and then you're just gonna be in pain.
Yeah.
Can you just zoom out for a second? Not so. Yeah, right there. Right there. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, you're supposed to be.
Chris, I don't like those shorts. Lose them after lunch, okay? Thank you. Are we set to go? Are we ready now?
We're not keeping track of time.
Okay.
We're gonna start again.
And
Can you hear me now when I talk?
Oh, you can see some of the ska aesthetic. There's the black and white checkered thing there. That's pure ska. Also, his bowler hat feels very ska. You can feel the ska in the room with us tonight.
are we ready? Okay. And in
No, this is
5,
for real.
4, 3, 2, 1.
At least that's the impression that I get. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones joke. You're welcome. 3 Mighty Mighty Boss Tones fans that still exist.
Oh, dude, we're on
We're
TV.
back on the air.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Hey,
How are you?
Pretty good, man. Hey, welcome to our show. I'm Tommy, director of Tree Hugger.
I thought black and white checkerboard meant Illuminati. It does in any decade except the 90s, where it means we're about to rock out to ska.
OMC director / producer.
All right, shut up. Okay,
Right,
now
man.
check it out. This is a great BMX race to save Toad's life. Mario and Luigi are tricked into a disaster-strewn boys motocross bicycle race with 3 of Koopa's sneakiest minions. Minions
Very
like
well
an
said.
onion,
Yeah,
except
yes.
with an M.
Now, can you get a close-up right here? Thank you. And cut.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so
very
now
much.
what we're gonna do is you're gonna
Thank
move
you.
back.
Love you,
You're gonna
babe.
clear the screen. Move back, clear the screen, because what we're gonna do right now, dudes, is go into satellite surfing.
I think we're going into cartoon, sir.
What?
Yes, we're going into cartoon right here. According to my
No,
control.
man. No, we're going satellite surfing. Do it now!
They got rid of live-action Mario for those clowns? Honestly, that's an insult. Clowns would be better. Clowns might be funny. They should put clowns! Who are these guys?
Big Kid back again. Today, more of that flying space helmet guy with the controls on his chest. Check it out.
Get set for takeoff as fast as you can. I'll ditch this.
Oh, I have this on Blu-ray. I think this is Captain Cody. I forget the specifics. Captain Cody Sky Marshal, I want to say. It was a serial from like the 20s.
Right.
That's it for another special installment. Tune in later.
3, 2, 1. Whoa, wow, what an awesome session.
Right on the
satellite
set,
surfing,
please.
the big kid. I love that guy, man. All right, check it out, dudes. This afternoon on Club Mario, I'm wearing
Yeah,
this.
Captain Cody came out on Blu-ray recently. I don't know if it's had previous releases, but I got it on the, Indicator put out a set as part of their adventure collection. They've done 4, and they just came out with one that's all space-themed, because each set has different themes. The first one was, like, Arabian Nights-style desert adventures. The second one was jungle adventures. Third one, I think, was, like, military and war adventure films, and the most recent one is space stuff.
Because it's our turn to direct the show.
Yes, we've taken over our rooftop. We're directing our own show.
That's right, man. And like you guys can like direct stuff too, you know, because all you got to do is like move to a central hub of like acting, get a job like we did,
get somebody to give you a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, and then once you work with them for a while and they get to like you, they let you handle all the expensive stuff.
That's all there is to it, babe.
Right, man. So check it out, dudes.
What are they doing?
When we come back, awesome camera work.
I'm sorry, this is probably not very entertaining to watch. This is actively annoying me how
We'll be
unfunny
right back
they are.
after these messages.
Time machine.
How do you get in front of a camera like that and you so intentionally just bomb? It's not even hard. You're talking to children. Make a fart joke. I don't know. Do literally anything.
Super Mario Brothers Super Show is live.
This one's riding a
Is that driving anyone crazy yet? Wow. I'm glad they didn't get more than a segment of that, but I miss Lou Albano. Vamping badly. That's gonna be the... I'm gonna write a book. It's gonna be an autobiography, and that's the title. Vamping badly. This is called Escape School Abduction. Brought to you by the Dignity Memorial Funeral Service providers. Oh, lovely. You love a safety video sponsored by a funeral home. That gives you a lot of confidence in the information provided therein.
Dignity Memorial Funeral, Cremation, and Cemetery Service providers are privileged and honored to assist others in our communities. The unfortunate fact of our profession, though, is that we are well acquainted with the pain and suffering of those who lose someone they love. Like you, we are parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, neighbors and friends who care deeply about the security of our towns and cities. And like you, we want our children to be safe. That's why we believe in the Dignity Memorial Escape School program, part of our commitment to safe communities. This non-threatening, simple program offers valuable information to parents and children while initiating important dialogues between them. Please watch this video with your children. In the future, make it a point to discuss the situations and techniques on a continuing basis.
Phantom Fighter, thanks for following, and MH Darkbeast, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says, a lot of the Lou Albano openings sadly can't be used due to licensing rights for various song covers. This one was one of the best. No songs here.
Hey, paisanos! It's the on the double.
Not sure about the legality of the theme song, so I'm gonna skip that, but you've probably heard it at some point.
Back! Mario, get the cover ready! Back, don't feel anything. Back off the Flatbush is really in a haunting mood. Did ever. Get the ghost, Luigi!
Vigo's returned, and it's up to the Mario Brothers to stop him.
Keep the ghost busy, Luigi! Let's party them now! I got him! Don't worry about it! He's got me! Come in! Ernie Hudson! Thank goodness you're here!
Oh my god, I was making a joke! No, okay, they're actually doing like a Ghostbusters thing. Okay.
Oh, we heard it was you. I lost the toss of the coin. Looks like I got here just in time. This place is an ectoplastic disaster area.
I kind of like it.
It's in there. Stand back. This ain't gonna be pretty.
No, it's not in furnace.
Ernie Hudson's motto, if there's a paycheck in it, I'll show up to any show you want. Ironically, he was often left out of the video games. Yeah, I know, in like the NES ones, they were all white Ghostbusters.
Sticky situation there.
The ghost was in the bedroom.
Was he included in the Super Nintendo Ghostbusters games? Did they rectify it then? If not, at least they finally did in, like, the Xbox 360 Ghostbusters game, I guess. But still. Yeah, I would kill to have this stuff on DVD. Weird pop cultural ephemera.
Hey, I'm not back in 10 minutes. Put a dime in the meter.
Got you covered.
There's the Genesis one.
That is the most disgusting, revolting, hideous entity I've ever seen.
Ernie, I'd like you to shake my brother's hand.
Oh, he's shaking just fine.
Luigi meeting a Ghostbuster is now a canon event. Kind of appreciate that. That basically just makes Professor Egad a plagiarist.
Now, this is weird. There's no sign of that ghost anywhere.
Maybe it went for a bite to eat.
Speaking of eating, this is my favorite dish.
What's that?
Just me chewing.
Well, chew a little softer.
Uh-huh.
What was that, eh?
He's here. That means he's here with us.
Oh, God!
Uh-oh. Wanna arm wrestle?
Actually, a little creepy. They also did a crossover episode with Inspector Gadget, which means Mario, Ghostbusters, and Inspector Gadget all exist in the same universe, at least in this live-action iteration.
You're nuts.
Bite your tongue, Luigi. Mama didn't raise no slime.
Okay, be ready, Mario. This triple ricochet is a 1 in a million shot. It'll either drive that ghost from Luigi's body, or turn him into a drooling, moronic zombie forever.
Give it your best shot, Ernie.
Whoa.
You okay, Luigi?
Whoa. Well, the good news is I ain't no drooling, moronic zombie.
You can say that again.
Yeah, and Dracula.
Okay? I ain't no drooling, moronic zombie.
Dracula is in every universe, mostly because he's in the public domain, so he's easy to put in your property without legal issue.
Zombie.
What's the bad news?
The bad news? We gotta buy a new pizza pan.
Hey, Ernie. I surrender. Just get me away from these two Goombas.
Till next time, everybody, do the Mario!
Lovely. Where were we?
Our hope that this presentation will give your children the ability to recognize potential abduction situations.
Time for tonal whiplash.
And the tools to escape should the unthinkable occur.
These safety tips are suggestions only. Every situation is different, and there can be no guarantee that these techniques will prevent abduction. We recommend that you view this video with your children, discussing the situations and techniques in small, consistent doses. In this way, you will open the discussion about proactive safety and awareness.
When it comes to teaching children
about... Jesus Christ, we're just starting with a shot of a creepy dude dragging a child to a car. Good.
Safety, one of the most important things you can teach them is that all the rules change. There are certain things that they can do when they need somebody's help that they couldn't normally do. For instance, if a child were in a department store and they needed to get somebody's attention, they could actually make something fall off the shelf so that they get an attendant or the manager's attention. Normally they couldn't do that. In a dangerous situation they can. So you have to be real diligent and show them that all the rules change. And we're also going to look at all these different ways that we can send out clues or signals to involve somebody that could help us. Remember the story of Hansel and Gretel and how they dropped the breadcrumbs in the forest so that they could find their way back? We're going to look at some things kinda like that. But the first thing we have to do is we have to determine what a good stranger and a bad stranger is, because kids hear this word all the time. So we need to know what they're thinking about when they say good stranger, bad stranger. So I've asked some of my friends here at Escape School to help me, and let's see what they say a good stranger and a bad stranger is. What I want to know is if somebody can tell me the difference between, say, a good stranger and a bad stranger. What, for instance, would a bad stranger look like?
He might be dirty, not shaved, have yellow teeth, have rumpled hair.
Okay, it would be shabby, yellow teeth, dirty, have a beard. Would his hair be combed? You don't think so? No? Okay, what else? A bad? Yeah.
He might have tattoos and smoke.
Probably be...
I know that they're using this as a teaching moment to turn around and be like, no, children, actually, anyone can abduct you. It has nothing to do with the way they look, but it is funny to witness how children have these inherent biases that are sort of like implicitly fed to them through pop culture. Like, look at something like a kid's movie of the era that this was made, something like Dennis the Menace. If you look at the villain from Dennis the Menace, he's kind of the embodiment of this kind of descriptor of the stranger danger, but he's like a greasy, gross guy. So, like, I can't really blame the kids for having a misgiving and judging people based on how they look, because that's the culture and stories we've fed them consistently their whole short lives. Of course they think that. Also, good Christopher Lloyd performance here. He truly comes off as a disgusting, greasy creep man. Overthought says, statistically, a bad stranger is someone you know. True.
Smoking, what else?
He would wear raggedy clothes and be dirty and probably never take baths, so he would stink.
Classism!
Okay, dirty old clothes, raggedy. So let me see if I got this straight. A bad stranger would be somebody that's maybe selling drugs, smoking, they don't shave, their hair's messed up, they got raggedy clothes, yellow teeth, tattoos.
I do find it a little funny that the middle drawing of bad stranger basically looks exactly like my dad, like my birth dad, who's shitty. There he is. Peep Lord says, my first move when I finish my time machine is providing all these stupid videos wrong by abducting the fuck out of 90s kids that watch these tapes. And you're the reason for the stranger danger panic. It's Terminator 1 rules. It's a time loop. Clash 1987, thanks for following.
Maybe wearing dark sunglasses. Really a grody looking individual, right? That's what we're talking about here. Good. What about a good stranger? How would a good stranger, yes, how would a good stranger look?
He might be wearing maybe like a suit, maybe have a briefcase.
All right, you heard it here first. If you want to kidnap a kid, wear a suit, get a briefcase. Apparently, they think you're fun.
Okay, a suit, a briefcase. What else? A good...
Jesus Christ.
Good. Yes.
It might look like your mom or dad.
Could look like your mom or dad. Would that be friendly to you? They'd look for like smiling and friendly. Is that what you mean by mom and dad? Very good. Yeah, you got an answer. What is it?
They would smile and be friendly. They would shave and take baths.
That's good. Smile and be friendly. So maybe the good stranger.
There are no good strangers at the Super Smash Brothers tournament.
Has nice clothes, nice car, a briefcase, you said. They look maybe like your mom and dad. So we've heard a lot of different definitions as to what a good stranger looks like and a bad stranger looks like. But the real truth is this. You can't tell if a person is good or bad by their appearance. You can't tell by the way that they're dressed. There's another way to do it, a way that children understand real clearly and doesn't confuse them. We teach children that a stranger is an action. Now, children can understand and remember a good action and a bad action. But if they're sitting around trying to determine whether or not a person is a good person or a bad person by their appearance, that's like fighting a losing battle. So we're going to take a look at what some of these actions are so that a child knows when they see one of these actions, that's a situation they don't want.
He looks like the most cop to ever cop. You've not seen JJ Bittenbinder if you think this guy's the most cop. Hold on, let me pull up Bittenbinder for a second. JJ Bittenbinder is the most cop of all cops.
If you're traveling on public transportation, beware. When you least expect it, you could become a victim.
Public
Here he is.
transportation and safety on the
He wears a
elevated
cowboy hat
stations
sometimes
and on
too,
the
but he's got a
elevated
bushier mustache, so he wins.
If you've got a purse hanging loose on you on a stairwell, or if you're not in control of your packages, or you don't have your briefcase, they're going to take these things and they'll be out on the street. Keep your purses and things in front of you where you can control them. Traveling with a small child always.
Anyway, so he went around the country and talked all about stranger danger stuff.
To get into, and it doesn't
You may have heard the John Mulaney bit about him, but he was a real guy.
matter what the person looks like, they're focusing on the action. Okay, let's say, for instance, you were outside. Maybe you were walking home from school or you're walking to the store or something like that, and somebody pulls up beside you and it makes you nervous. Now, there's two ways you can react. There's the scared way, and then there's the smart way. And let's see what the differences are and which one's going.
I'm going to do the scared way. Keep Lord says, they say progress is slow, but it only took one presidential campaign to get bad people in PDF files to identify themselves with bright red baseball caps. Wrong again, 90s VHS tapes.
To make you safer, okay? So come on over here by me and turn around. Say you're walking this way, and this car pulls up beside you, and you get scared and you want to run away. If you take off running this way, go right there, then you can't get away from this car very easily because the person can keep following you, huh? That's kind of what we do when we're scared. We have a tendency to run away from things. But come on back for a minute. Let's say you turn around and you're walking down the street and this car pulls up and the person rolls the window down and they scare you. The smart thing to do is turn around and run this way. Go this way. Now stop right there. If you run that way, they have to turn around to keep going after you. And by the time they get turned around, you've got a big old head start. You're
I get the logic here. It might give you precious moments, and I'm not, by the way, I'm not trying to argue against the tape here, but my brain tends to work in devil's advocate-y ways, so I gotta bring this up. Takes about 5 seconds to turn around. But sure, yeah, maybe we'll give you a little more time. Great.
Way far away, and you can go find
Maybe
somebody
we'll give
that
you
can
time to scream and yell for someone. I don't know.
help you. Now see, that's because you were smart. When you were smart and thought about it and ran this way instead of going forward, you took back the control. Okay? Great. Okay, now you
My
guys
kid's so
know
uncomfortable.
that you're not supposed to get into somebody else's car. But let's just say, for instance, you find yourself, for some reason, you're in somebody's car and that person is going to drive away. What's the very first thing you should do if you find yourself in that situation? Yes, what should you do?
You should open the door and run away.
You're absolutely correct. Always open the door and get out. But what if the person sitting there says, don't you touch that, don't you open that door, don't even get anywhere near that door, then what should you do? Yes.
I'm going to start talking about my Blu-ray collection and the problems I have with different manufacturers until they let me go.
You get out and run anyway.
You don't listen to them, do you? Absolutely not. Good answer. You open the door and get out anyway. Now see, let's say, I'm going to give you another situation. Let's say the door is busted and you can't open it. You try to, but you can't get out. Now the important thing is that you have to do something so that this person can't drive away. So what could you do in a situation like that? Yes.
You could probably jump in his lap and scream and honk the horn.
Jump.
Probably don't. Once again, joke locked in the vault. We're good.
In his lap.
Ashley One Up says, joke's on you, Hannah. That expertise is why I'm kidnapping you. That's fine. That'll probably be fine.
And scream. That's a very... Why don't you show me what you're talking about? That's a very good answer. Can you come and show me? Great. So, Jenna, you said that you would jump in the person's lap so they couldn't drive away. I think that's a good answer. Let's
I don't think that's a good answer.
I'll count to 3
I don't
and then you
think
do it.
that's a good answer.
Okay? 1, 2, 3, go! Very good. Very good. Perfect. I couldn't drive. You were right in front of me. Here's a couple other things that you can do to stop that car before it gets too far away. One thing you can do is jump to the floorboard, reach under the driver's side of the dashboard, and pull out any wires you...
That's not a reasonable thing to ask anyone to do. You want me to while someone is driving, kidnapping me, you want me to grab under the dash with immediacy, be able to find wires, and yank them out with the strength of a child. I don't know, I think you're asking a lot of these kids. I don't think that's I don't feel bad devil's advocating that one. That one's a bad idea. It's a really bad idea.
Fine. If you can't get out of the car, find a small button, a stick, or a hairpin, and jam it into the ignition, making it hard to restart the car. If you can, get out and run for safety. If the keys are left in the car, take them with you, and then toss them in the bushes or a dumpster as you...
They're asking these kids to basically have the like tense situational awareness and proactivity of like the protagonist of a 90s thriller. Like, this is a lot. This is a lot to ask of like a 6-year-old when they're trying to escape a life or death situation. Is, okay, you need to get a hold of the keys, jam something in the keyhole, run away with the keys, find a dumpster, throw them in the dumpster. I don't know about that. I don't know.
You're running. And remember, don't stop running until you find someone that can help you. Something else you can do, like say you were in the trunk of a car. If you find the...
Did goblins write this? I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe Jareth could be involved.
Wires that go to the taillight, and you pull them real hard or kick at that section of the trunk, you'll disable the brake and taillights. Now you've just increased the odds 50% that the police are going to pull the car over. Not because you're in the trunk.
All right, kids, we need you while you're locked in the trunk in the complete darkness. We need you to feel around. We need you to find exposed wiring. We need you to yank that out. We need you to kick the electronic devices.
But because it has no brake or taillights. All right, let's say you're in the car with the person and they drive away. You can't get out the door because the door is busted.
All right, new idea. All car manufacturers have to put a button in their trunk, and it's the I've been kidnapped button. And if you're in the trunk, you press the button and it makes the back lights flash in a specific pattern. We did it. We solved kidnappings.
They pull up behind another car at a stop sign. What could you do in a situation like that to draw attention? Yes.
You could jam your foot on the accelerator.
What would that do? Why?
It would bump the car into the car in front.
Okay.
This kid's like, we're getting T-boned today, son. That's my solution, is forcing a car accident.
It would make the car that you're in bump the car that's in front. And would that draw attention to yourself?
Meanwhile, the kid will be on the floor during this car crash. That seems not great.
Come and show me how you would do that, would you?
I did actually know that, Ashley One Up. I did know that.
That's interesting. Show me what you mean. I'm going to count to 3, and then you do it, okay? I got my foot on the brake. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, great. I'll tell you what, let's move inside, and we're going to talk about some ways that you can attract attention to yourself if you were inside a building, if you were inside a house, okay? Let's go. Now, if you have the chance to use a telephone, dialing 911 is always the best option. You pick it up, you dial 911, then set the receiver down and move away from the phone. Don't hang it up, just set it down and move away. The police have your address within 2 seconds. You can even do this from a pay phone, and you don't have to have any money to put in the slot. Dial 911, tell them, I need your help, set the receiver down, and then find a place to hide. If you're in a hotel room or an apartment or a house, here's an interesting way that you can get attention. If you can get into the bathroom, you can take off your socks and tie them in a big ball, or stuff it down in the toilet, and then flush the toilet. It'll overflow, and this would maybe cause somebody else to get involved. And when they show up...
That one's not too bad, though I feel like if you're in a situation where you're alone in a room where you have access to the bathroom and stuff, there might be easier ways, but sure, okay.
Now you've got somebody that can be a potential rescuer. In child abduction cases, one of the primary difficulties for law enforcement is the lack of clues or signals from the child. Without a clue, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. If a child is trapped in a room, one way to draw attention to himself is by flicking a light switch on and off. This is a universally recognized technique to signal that help is needed.
9 times out of 10, it's a kidnapped child. 1 time out of 10, someone struggling with OCD.
One of the most important clues law enforcement can have is a direction of flight. An ID bracelet makes an excellent tool for sending out a clue. It can be thrown from a car window or dropped on a street or sidewalk. It can be discreetly left in a restaurant or motel room. Inscribe reward and your phone number on the bracelet. And when it's recovered and reported, you've established a possible direction of flight. If you're in a dangerous situation and you cannot quickly get away, one thing you should remember is try to keep something between you and the person you're trying to avoid. Now, you can use anything in your environment. You can use a backpack, for instance, and you can just throw it at the person. Or you can use your bicycle. Get off on the side of the bicycle that's opposite the person you're frightened of. That puts the bicycle between you and them and allows you more time when you go to run away. Now,
Deep Lord with 40-bit says, kids, if you're ever kidnapped, immediately grow up 15 to 20 years and become Israeli. Current 90s Senator Joe Biden will help rescue the neighborhood.
that's a smart way to react. What I'm going to show you is there's 2 ways you can get away from a person. Now, if you react one way, that's kind of the scared way, okay? And that may not work. And then there's a smart way. So if I had a hold of your arm, try to pull away from me. You're going to pull, and you're not going to get away from me, okay? Because I'm bigger and I'm stronger than you. Try it again. You pull away, and I pull back, and I'm going to win. But that's what you do if you were scared. But if you were going to react a different way,
punch him directly in the nards.
Smart way. Here's what you can do. Rotate your arm like a big windmill. Do it around a couple times, almost like an airplane propeller. That's good, just like the plane was going to take off. Now this time when I grab you, instead of pulling away, I'm going to pull you in by me. Instead of pulling away, rotate your arm around. Go ahead. Hard. Very good. What we're going to show everybody is there's...
Again, I feel like telling them to directly struggle against an attacker is... I don't know. I'm not an expert at any of this. My intuitive feelings aren't necessary. They're not based on data. Hopefully their thing is.
Way you can get help if you need it. Say
just be afraid you're going to get the kid shot in the face, you know?
Walking down the street, maybe you're going to school or going to the store, and you see somebody else and they're following you and they make you nervous. So you walk up to someone else that you don't know, maybe me, I'm standing on the street corner, and ask me for help. How would you do that?
I need help.
And I say, no, I don't want to help you. Now what are you going to do?
I need help.
And then I just turn and I walk away. I say, I don't want to help you. I don't have to help you. You can't make me help you. There's another way to do it. There's actually a way, a real smart way that you can get the help you need. This time, come up, grab my arm, hold it as tight as you can. Don't let go no matter what I do. Look right at me and say, I need help. And we'll see what happens, okay? Go.
I need help.
No, I don't want to help you.
I need help.
I don't want to.
I need help.
And look, I can't get rid of you. You've involved...
And that's the extent of that interaction.
Involved me in your situation. We call this the Velcro technique. You can hold on to me for as long as you want to until you feel safe. Say it again.
I need help.
No, I don't want to help you. And look at this. I can't. You're like gum stuck on the bottom of my shoe, man. I can't get rid of you. Good job. Hey, remember this. Always trust your instincts. You know that little butterfly feeling you get sometimes in the pit of your stomach when you know something just isn't right? Trust that. That's very important. That's telling you that you have the right to get up and walk away from any situation that you don't feel comfortable in. It's very important that you know the most dangerous situation that you could ever get into is getting into or close to someone else's car. Never fall for any of the tricks that people use. First of all, you should...
Another ding against cars. Hard to kidnap people via public transportation.
Shouldn't walk over to someone's car if they want you to mail a letter, or if an adult pulls over and asks you for directions. Sometimes these are just tricks. Remember, never get in a stranger's car for any reason whatsoever. What if somebody walks up to you, say you're at a mall or in a park or anywhere, they walk up to you right now and they have a camera and they say, hey, I want to take your picture. I work for a magazine. Should you let somebody like that take your picture? That's right. No, that's very important. Nobody should take your picture unless they have your parents' permission. Now, I'll tell you what, there's a very easy way to know if somebody has your parents' permission or not.
That's so funny. The philosophy about pictures of kids has changed so dramatically since I was born. It's so weird seeing so many parents just post pictures. Luckily, I think people are a little better about it now and making sure their accounts are set to like private or friends only or whatever. There was a period in time where people just taking all the photos of their children and just posting them online publicly for anyone to see. Like, and the vast majority of people aren't creeps. So, like, for the vast majority of people, not a problem. It's just pictures of people's kids. Unfortunately, we live in a world where there are terrible creeps. So, I don't know. Posting pictures of your kid on the internet are risky. We're doing it publicly. I wouldn't recommend it.
And that's by using something called a code word. Does anybody here have a code word? You do? What is it?
I can't tell you.
You can't tell me. That's right. That's the right answer. You're not...
I had a code word. I was the one who made it up.
Not supposed to tell anybody what the code word is. Very good. A code word is a very special word, a secret word that just you and your family know.
I can't tell you what the code word is, H. Baird. What if someone tries to kidnap me? Gifazoa, thanks for a 205 stream streak.
Oh.
795 to go.
Someone comes up to you and says that your parents sent them to pick you up. They say that you need to go with them right away. Well, if they don't know the code word, then you know that they weren't sent by your parents, and the smart thing to do is just get away right away. Parents, if you should ever find yourself in the situation where you think your child is missing...
Well, that's a different password. The password for showing I'm not fake is a second plane has hit the femboy. The other code is separate. Aaliyah Explorers with 100 bits says, I hid my kids' pics. I figured it was their choice what their digital footprint would be. Most didn't know I had kids online. That's a respectful and responsible thing to do. Andrew Blood, thanks for the $4 super chat. Much appreciated.
There are 5 things that you need to know how to do. There's 5 phone calls that you have to make. First, call 911. Tell the police that this is a high priority emergency. Your child is missing. Next, call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Their phone number is 1-800-THE-LOST. They can help you get this out to the public. Then call the local search and rescue division. Ask them to bring out the dogs and the rest of the search team to help you. After that, call the FBI. Their number is usually in the front of the phone book. And the 5th phone call you're going to make is to all the local media, radio, television, newspaper. They're going to help get the word out and get an image.
And you had to take a ride from a stranger the same day you had stranger danger talk at school. That's a shame. You're here, though, so I guess that worked out.
Your child out there on the air. Remember, write these phone numbers down. They're extremely important, and keep them in a safe place so that they're always handy. You know, there's literally hundreds of things that you can do or that you can work on with your children when it comes to being safe by being smart. You've just seen the tip of the iceberg here on this video. I really encourage you to sit down and talk about this subject with your children on a regular basis and listen real close to what they have to say, because many of the tips we've shown you today and many that we use and talk about all the time, we've learned from children. Here are the 2 most important points that I hope you go away with today.
Robo Twilight.
First of all, you're safe when you're smart, not when you're scared. And the second thing is...
Hell yeah, H. Baird. Thank you so much for doing that.
Life is fun.
Yeah, I've had like 3 different people this season come by canvassing for Harris, so that's good.
Go out and enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again right here at Escape School.
Autumn. Thanks for following.
Stupid head, you jerk, crybaby.
Has anyone ever called you a name you didn't like?
Names I didn't know. Ugh.
What did you do about it? Did you ever call someone a name they didn't like? How do you think it made them feel? Well, name calling is what this program is all about. We'll show you how it makes people feel and how to ask someone to stop calling you names. So the next time it will be easier for you to tell someone, don't call me names.
What if I'd like to be called names, but in a very specific context? And also, this stoplight is a fortunate visual metaphor for what I'm talking about.
How does it feel to be called names? Let's find out.
Perhaps, Envy Vulpine.
One day in
Perhaps.
school, Caleb was sharpening his pencil when the pencil got stuck in the sharpener and broke. Caleb was upset because he had gotten the pencil at a baseball game and it had his favorite team's name on it.
Oh no, this is my favorite pencil.
But what made things worse was what Janet said to him.
It's just a dumb pencil, what a baby.
Fuck you, your haircut, and your pencil, bitch boy!
Later that day, Caleb was looking for a book in his desk. And when he pulled out some papers, a bunch of books went flying all over the place. Caleb felt embarrassed, but he felt even worse after Janet said,
You're such a klutz.
Just fuck that kid day, apparently.
And then at recess, Caleb was playing dodgeball. Suddenly, the ball hit his legs and knocked him over. It hurt so much that he almost cried.
Ha ha, what a loser.
What? Is that too much? Is that too personal? I had in elementary school this bully, and she was very mean to me, and I don't know. I think it set me up for a type.
That was it. When Janet called Caleb a baby, he felt hurt. And when she called him a klutz, he felt embarrassed. But when she called him a loser, he got mad. So he started calling her names.
Yeah, well, you're a jerk. Stupid head. Dummy.
Oh god, it's getting physical.
Caleb and Janet kept calling each other names. Then they started to push each other. What a mess. All from name calling. See how calling someone names can make them feel hurt and embarrassed and angry?
Hey, I turned out fine. Just because I'm wearing a cat maid outfit on the internet doesn't mean I didn't turn out fine. At least that's what I tell myself.
When Caleb left school that day, he was in such a bad mood. First because Janet had hurt his feelings, and then because he got into trouble for fighting with her. When Marcy, his babysitter, met him after school, she realized something was wrong.
Hey, Caleb.
Hi.
What's the matter? Oh, come on, you can tell me.
So, Caleb told Marcy about the fight with Janet.
Only consensual, MH Darkbeast.
And about how she called him names, and then how he pushed Janet and got in trouble. Marcy understood how Caleb felt.
I know how you feel. That happened to me, too. Come on, let's go to the park, and we can talk along the way.
When they got there, they saw two girls from Caleb's school on the playground, Lisa and Taylor.
Come on, Taylor the Sailor. Let's go on the swing. Don't call me Taylor the Sailor. I don't like that. Why not? It rhymes. Taylor, Sailor. I think it's funny. Well, I don't.
Can you believe it? More name calling.
Well, at least Lisa's
Is that a reveal, Jay's a proxy? I feel like I've talked and made jokes and implied enough about shit that was pretty obvious.
You mean like Janet. She's just doing it to be funny.
But if Taylor doesn't think it's funny, Lisa shouldn't do it. Not everyone calls names to be mean, you know. See that guy over there, Roger? When we were in first grade, He always called me Peanut because I was the shortest kid in the class. He wasn't doing it to be mean or even funny. He just thought it was a cute nickname. But I hated it anyway.
Now, when I was in kindergarten, there was a girl in class named Paige, and I was that annoying shit little kid and used to tell her when we were on reading time, "Turn the page, Paige!" And she hated that shit. So I was insufferable and didn't stop until I was made to stop. Luckily, I grew into an adult and learned the lesson not to do that to people, but damn, I was a shit little kid in kindergarten. Peeplord says, nowadays, schoolyard bullying is settled differently, the way they did things in the Old West. #progress.
Hey guys, what are you doing?
Made to stop funny.
I was telling Caleb how you used to always call me Peanut and how it bothered me.
Yeah, you know, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I thought it was kind of nice.
That's what I'm saying. Not all name calling is meant to be mean.
But I wouldn't like it if you called me Peanut. I'd think you were making fun of me. Would you like it?
Probably not.
If you wouldn't like it, then maybe someone else wouldn't either.
Yeah, you know, you're right. If you're calling somebody names and they don't like it, you really shouldn't do that.
So you see, there are lots of reasons why people call names. Sometimes they do it to hurt someone's feelings. But sometimes they think it's funny, and other times they may think it's cute. Before you call someone a name, ask yourself, would I like it if someone called me that?
Asterisk, results may vary.
Marcy Roger.
Peeplord says, not all name calling is meant to hurt feelings. Sometimes it's prophetic, like when all the kids would call me the F-slur. Yeah, I feel that.
And Caleb kept talking. They talked about how name calling makes you feel. They talked about why people call other people names. Now Caleb wanted to know what you could do to make someone stop calling you names.
Caleb's having a problem. Janet's been calling him names, and he wants her to stop.
Well, what did you do when she called you names?
I called her names back.
I bet it didn't work, and it probably made things worse, right? Did you get into a fight?
Yeah, I pushed her.
Calling names back or fighting just
yes, Trey.
doesn't
Trey, that's the lesson here. Call people names when they want to be called names, but don't when they don't.
Work.
It's all about consent. A lot of life's about consent.
So what does?
Do you know what I did to get Roger to stop calling me Peanut? I told him how it made me feel. He didn't even realize I didn't like it.
And once I'd heard how she felt, I stopped.
It was that easy?
That time it was. It doesn't always work like that. But still, it's the first thing you should do.
I appreciate an instructional video that says, because, you know, a lot of them are very like, hey, communicate, which is great. Doesn't always work. But I appreciate that they're contextualizing it within, hey, you should try this first, though. Try to talk. If it doesn't work, and it may not, great. There's other steps. But at least try it. That's fair. That's reasonable. Rick M with 17 months says, sub-baby shower next weekend. Ooh.
Use your words and tell the person who's calling you names how it makes you feel. Then ask them to stop. Looks like you two made up.
Yeah, I promise not to call her that name anymore, even though I still think it's kind of funny.
What if Mandy Patinkin calls you Peanut? Mandy Patinkin can call me anything he wants. He seems like a charming man.
Lisa? But if it hurts her feelings, I won't do it. Promise.
So do you think you have a better idea now about what to do if Janet calls you names again?
Yep. I'm going to tell her how it makes me feel and ask her to stop.
Great. So Caleb learned that using your words and saying how you feel is really important. And remember, if you call someone a name, even one that you think is funny or cute and wouldn't mind being called yourself, you shouldn't do it if the other person asks you not to. So, the first
this town
thing
must
to
have
do
been suffering from a hairbrush
when
shortage.
someone calls you a name is to tell them how you feel and ask them to stop. But suppose you do that and they still won't stop. What can you do then? Well, that's what happened to Hector. Hector was really good at math. He always knew all the answers, and he always got 100 on his tests. Then some of the kids in his class started calling him Mr. Brainy Head.
No wonder they're failing. That's a terrible insult. They're not very articulate.
You get on the test. I got 2 wrong. What about you? I got 3 wrong. Let's see what Mr. Brainyhead got. What did you get, Mr. Brainyhead? 100, like always. That's why he's Mr. Brainyhead.
So Hector told them how he felt and asked them to stop.
I don't want you to call me that name anymore. I don't like it. Why not? That's what you are. You're so brainy, Mr. Brainyhead. Anyway, it's just a funny nickname. But I don't like it.
Then
See, I wouldn't be good at this tape because Kid Me would have just gone, I'm not smart, you're an idiot.
Hector thought he tried not to be good at math.
I had problems as a kid. I have problems as an adult too, but they're different problems.
Maybe that would make them stop. So when the teacher called on him, he gave the wrong answer on purpose.
Does anybody know what 8 plus 2 is? How about you, Hector?
2 plus 8 is 12.
Sorry, Hector, that's not right. Anybody else?
Green guy with a $3 tip says, yesterday I turned 40. My wife asked what I wanted, and I said I wanted to do nothing. So she went to the estate sale down the block and bought 3 6-foot, 100-pound bookshelves with no way to get them home. So we had to buy a dolly and walk them home one by one. Well, happy 40th birthday. Belated. Sorry you had to move some bookshelves. Peoplord says, what did you get me, brainy head? I got the cops to arrest your parents by the DARE officer.
Jessica?
2 plus 8 is 10.
That's right. Very good.
See, I didn't know the answer.
But that didn't work either. The kids still called him Mr. Brainy Head, and giving the wrong answer on purpose made him feel just as bad as being called names.
How old are these kids? Why don't they know basic education? Basic edition. It's an American classroom. I'm glad I could sort that out for you. I think something like 52% of Americans have a 6th grade or under reading comprehension. That's over half. And I think it's something like 20% are functionally illiterate. Might be 15%. So yeah, we're not doing great. Royal Ann with a $2 super chat says, I know, I am crazy. Nice bookshelves, though, probably. I need some myself. I'm running out of space for my Blu-rays, and by running out, I mean I'm out. If you want, give me money for bookshelves, use the tip link.
When his friend Jessica saw him looking upset, she asked him what was wrong.
What's the matter?
I actually need to get less lazy. I have the old childhood bookshelf of mine in the garage still I gotta work on. I haven't worked on it in like a year.
Some of the kids keep calling me Mr. Brainyhead, and I don't
20% that are functionally illiterate? Wow, that's depressing.
like it. So don't pay attention to that. What do you mean? Pretend you don't hear it. That's what I did.
Then Jessica told Hector about Ben, who used to call her Sneezy, because she had bad allergies and was always sneezing.
Hey, Sneezy, need a tissue?
That was catty. That was real catty for a tiny boy. That was incredibly catty. Look at him. Sneezy. Need a tissue, bitch.
Hey, Sneezy, need a tissue?
Jessica told Ben she didn't like it and asked him to stop, but he wouldn't.
Please don't call me that. Sorry, Sneezy.
Wow, it's continual.
So Jessica decided the next time Ben called her Sneezy, she wouldn't pay attention to him. She pretended she didn't even hear him.
How's it going, Sneezy? I said, how's it going, Sneezy? Whatever. And he stopped? After a little while, maybe it wasn't fun anymore. Anyway, he stopped.
So now you know, if someone calls you names, the best thing to do is use your words. Tell them how it makes you feel and ask them to stop. If they keep doing it, try not to pay attention to the name. Chances are they'll get tired of it and give up. But if you can't work things out yourself, ask a grown-up for help. So, we've learned that using your words is a great way to make someone stop calling you names. So is ignoring the person. But suppose you see someone else being called names. What do you do then? Chelsea and Megan were having a sleepover at Katie's house. They were having a great time until Katie said,
I have an idea. Let's turn off the lights and tell ghost stories. I don't like ghost stories. Don't be a baby. I'll go turn off the lights. No, I don't like the dark. You're such a scaredy cat. Chelsea, you're not afraid, are you? Well, no. Great, I'll get the lights.
Katie kept calling Megan scaredy cat and went to turn off the lights, even though she knew Megan was afraid. And Chelsea didn't say anything to stop her.
Scaredy cat, Katie, keep the lights on. Scaredy cat.
Suddenly, the sleepover wasn't so much fun anymore.
I'm gonna show that little shitty kid Terrifier 2 and traumatize her.
Chelsea felt bad that Megan was so upset, but what could she do? Then she realized that she could use
I've seen clips of that weird Mark Twain thing, X-Force.
her words and tell
Very
Katie to
strange.
stop calling her names. And that's exactly what she did.
Katie, stop calling Megan a scaredy cat. Well, she's being a baby and ruining our fun. She is not, but you're hurting her feelings and being really mean. I didn't mean anything by it. I just thought it'd be fun to tell ghost stories. I'm sorry I called you a scaredy cat, Megan. Thanks. We could watch a video if you want. As long as it's not about ghosts. And we can leave the lights on. Great, I'll get the movie.
It's called Sallow, or 120 Days of Sodom. My parents got it from the video store.
Chelsea used her words to stop Katie's name calling, and it worked. So when it comes to name calling, now you know that calling names back and fighting don't work. But using your words, saying how you feel, and speaking up for a friend is a great way to stop name calling. So is ignoring the person who's calling you the name. And remember, if you need to, talk to an adult and ask them to help you work things out. So the next time you want someone to stop name calling, remember the best way is to say, "Don't call me names."
I know that movie, good lord. I own that movie. It's in the Criterion Collection. You can't think I'm weird for owning it if it's in the Criterion Collection. Those are the rules. It's culturally significant. That makes it not weird. I also have Pink Flamingos, which is also in the Criterion Collection. The only film I have in my collection where people have sex while holding a chicken. At least as far as I know. I haven't checked all of them. There might be some Disney stuff I'm curious about that might have some. Anyway, here's an MLM scheme video. Filter my politics, filter my life. Take whatever you like. Condone first degree... This is a quote from a movie. Condone first degree murder. Kill everyone now. Eat shit. R.I.P. Divine. You're a real one.
Hi, I'm Robin Smith, and what I'm about to do is share with you the most incredible business opportunity that has ever...
Someone eats shit in that movie. It's Divine. Divine at the end of Pink Flamingos, in cinematic brilliance, eats actual dog excrement on camera. She gags her way through it, and it's disgusting and unnecessary, and I wish she hadn't done it, and that no one had seen it, but she did it. And it's part of cinematic history. Good for her. Ursula from The Little Mermaid is based on Divine. Fun fact.
Ever hit this planet, Transcend Marketing International. I invite you just to sit back and relax.
I could put that on. That's not pee drinking. That's poop eating. Those are different things.
As over the next few minutes, I share with you a little bit about myself, how it is that Transcend Marketing has positioned each and every one of us, and then what I get the most excited about, and that is our compensation plan. Now, I was introduced to network marketing back in 1989 when my oldest brother introduced me to an opportunity that I thought I was going to go save the world with. I was told that if I worked really hard for 2 to 5 years, that I could create financial freedom for myself. But 6 years into the program, I'd had it. I was done. I was $30,000 in credit card debt, and I promised myself I was never going to touch.
Wow, that's $30,000 in 1989 money too. Oh, yikes!
Another one of these as long as I lived. And then a couple of years went by, and during that 2-year period, the phone calls came in. People calling up saying, "You got to get into this one. You got to get into this one. This one will set you free." Then I'd watch my friends in these programs about 6 months, and then on to the next one, telling me I need to get into that one now. Well, one of the phone calls within that 2-year period, towards the end of the 2 years, she calls up. Again, it sounds like all the rest of them. And out of respect, we sat down and we listened to her. And she came on over and she started talking to me initially about her product. And as far as I was concerned, I didn't really care about her product because as far as I was concerned, I already sold the greatest products in the whole wide world and I didn't make any money at it. So I just said to her, "What is it?
The best products ever. That's why I don't make any money.
It costs to get in this thing, and what do I have to do to get my money back?" That was the
almost like MLMs are big scam cults. Crazy.
only thing I cared about because of what happened before. And that's when she started showing me the compensation plan, and I freaked. I couldn't even fathom how anybody could fail. And immediately, my husband was standing right by me, and I looked up to him and I said, "Honey, I can do this one. I know I can do this one." And then, of course, I turned to my parents and I was like, "I need to borrow the money. I need to borrow the money."
You're $30,000 in debt from previous pyramid schemes. You found a new one that someone pitched to you and went to your parents and begged for money? That's awful. You should feel bad about that. That's genuinely awful.
You know, and they loaned it to me, and I got started immediately. That next day, I called everybody I could possibly think of. I wanted nobody to miss out. And out of all the people I called, I had 20 people promise me they would come over and take a look at what I was doing. And out of all those 20 people, I must call them 3 times just to remind them, "Gotta be there, you gotta look at this thing." Out of all those people, 4 of them showed up.
What's the thing?
And I thought, you know, if I can just convey to them the difference between this one and all the rest of them out there, then I've done my job, and that's the best I can do. So basically, I just popped in a video, and out of the 4 people that came, 3 of them decided to do something with it. And I'll tell you something, those 3 people that got into the business with me changed my life.
The business. We're 3 minutes in and we have not an inkling of what the product is.
Completely.
Kind of illustrative that in MLMs the product is irrelevant. It's entirely about the quote-unquote network marketing bullshit pyramid scheme stuff. The product is secondary to the scam.
I created financial freedom for myself that most people just dream about. And what I know is if I can do this, anybody can do this. Next, I want to share with you how it is that Transcend Marketing has positioned each and every one of us. And it is my opinion that if you want to make serious money, you position yourself in front of serious trends. And Transcend Marketing has positioned us in front of 3 massive trends. To begin with, home-based business. Right now, home-based business is at an all-time high. People are flocking into this industry like never before. And one of the reasons is because people are finally coming to the realization that there just is no such thing as job security anymore. People are working for companies for 15 plus years and they're losing their jobs overnight. Secondly, I see more and more mothers and fathers wanting
Sorry, now we're almost 4 minutes in and there's no mention of the product. How far into this, or chat, throw up your estimate. How far into the video will we get before they mention what the actual product is and explain it? Because, like, I'm kind of shocked. Usually they at least give a tacit, "Oh yeah, we're a health company, we're a beauty company, we're blah, 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 blah." They've said nothing.
To be home to raise their own children, as opposed to having somebody else raise their kids. The second trend that Transcend Marketing positions each and every one of us in front of is the anti-aging market. Right now, the baby boomers, they're all starting to turn 55 years old. And the baby boomers are a group of people that were born between 1946 and 1964. They take up 1/3 our population, and they control over 77% of our assets.
They're awful, we know.
The baby boomers have reshaped every single industry that they have ever gone through.
Anti-aging was mentioned. That's pretty close to what we're honing in on a product.
So whatever these people want is exactly how you want to position yourself. So what is the key concern of the boomers right now? Aging. And they want no part of it. As a matter of fact, the boomers will pay anything.
Too bad, bitch!
To keep that from happening. Now, just a recent issue of a magazine that Entrepreneur puts out indicates the 15 top businesses to get yourself involved with. And one of the top 15 businesses it indicates is anti-aging products. And I just want to read this very quickly to you. It says, no surprise here. People are getting older, and though we used to be content to watch Bob Hope specials and shuffle quietly into the night, no more. In 1993, anti-aging products were a $325 million market. Not bad.
That's wild. Boomers doing anti-aging products in 1993. And it's now 3 decades later and they're still kicking around. I know it's a generation that spans 15, 20 years, but still, holy shit.
But that quadrupled
so many fucking boomers
over the next 4 years. And by 2002, the market should be at $3.6 billion. That's a lot of Jack, and it could be yours. 88 million North Americans are between the ages of 40 and 55, those wonderful baby boomers, not to mention those middle-agers worldwide. And they're all waiting for you to tell them how to look or feel younger. It says just get in on this trend now. Transcend Marketing has an array of products that not only slow the aging process, but potentially reverse it. Our lead...
Oh, shouldn't say that. Also, I'd say we're there. 5.5 minutes. Anti-aging creams. Anti-aging products is the product. 5.5 minutes in.
Product Recapture HGH is a homeopathic human growth hormone. Human growth hormone is something that naturally excretes from the pituitary gland. But as we get older, it starts to diminish. It starts to diminish at about the age of 20, and by the time that we're 70 years old, it's 75% gone. During this period, you're going to notice such things as hair loss, weight gain, wrinkles, lack of sexual function, thinning of the skin, liver spots. All of this is due to the lack of HGH excreting from the pituitary gland.
Okay, I think they invent Viagra shortly after this, so you're fine.
And Recapture HGH takes care of those things. Now, we also have an array of other products. The rest of our homeopathic line...
oh no! Homeopathy!
...consists of melatonin, DHEA, estrogen, female vitality...
Estrogen, you say? Okay, maybe I'm interested.
...and a male vitality. We also have a complete aloe vera-based nutritional product. That product is creating miracles in people's lives. On top of that...
Isn't aloe vera mostly water?
An array of products that allow you to lose weight, one of which allows you to do that while you're sleeping. Now, what I recommend you do is get back with whoever put this tape in your hand so that you can be directed to the appropriate website and just get yourself a little more educated on what it is that Transcend Marketing's product line has to offer. Now, the third trend is the internet. Without a doubt, .com is the buzzword of the new millennium.
And it has been predicted, thanks for subscribing on YouTube,
that by the year 2002, that 50 cents out of every...
Trans MLMs booming. That sounds good. I'm going to start a trans pyramid scheme, and I'm going to recruit eggs, and they need to trans themselves, and then they recruit 2 or 4 more eggs, and they trans themselves, and then, I don't know, by the end of 2027, the whole world will be trans. You're welcome.
Every single dollar spent in America will be spent online shopping. And what Transcend Marketing has to offer you is your own online shopping mall. You get paid to do what you're already doing, and you get to do it from the comfort of your own home. Now, those are the 3 trends that Transcend Marketing has positioned us in front of. And once again, if you want to make serious money, you position yourself in front of serious trends. But I'll tell you something. I believe you can have the greatest products in the whole wide world. I believe you can have the greatest idea in the whole wide world. But if you don't have a compensation plan that's fair to the masses, it's never going to be very much fun. And what I'm going to show you next is what is the most powerful, as far as I'm concerned, is the most powerful compensation plan that I have ever seen. And it is what I get the most excited about. Transcend Marketing's compensation plan is definitely the part that I get the most excited about. But although Transcend Marketing has several different ways that it pays us, what I'm going to focus on right now is the two that
This is right when the dot-com bubble popped, right? Let me see. Did you say what year this was? Visually, it looks like it. Like the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, that's about the time.
Excite me the most. And to begin with, we have the binary. Bi means two.
Oh.
This is your position within the organization, and all you have is two legs. You have a left leg, and you have a right leg. Now, most of the compensation plans out there...
Oh, I agree, Profane Priestess. Like, boomers in particular, and I'm sorry, I know that there are boomers in my audience. I'm going to try and be less generalized about this, because I understand that everyone individually is different. I'm talking about broad trends. I'm not trying to cast aspersions on anyone. Broadly, I have noticed certain people of older generations seem to live as though they are not going to die or are in denial of it, and it's very strange. I don't understand why. I don't know if it's because they were just part of such a prosperous generation, where, but I can't even say that, because, like, they had friends get drafted and go to war. Some of them got drafted and went to war. So I guess I don't understand. It feels like there are certain older people who just are not realistically looking at the amount of time they have left and preparing appropriately.
What they do is they go wide. And when they go wide, they usually only pay to a certain level. For instance, the one that I was in initially paid to the 5th level, but I've seen them pay as far as to the 7th level. And what happens with these kind of programs is you never get the kind of help that you need, because the people that are usually making all the money, they don't get paid off of you. And if they don't get paid off of you, I guarantee you they will not be there for you. So my suggestion is, if you're looking at anything like this, run. Because although you might be able to succeed in a program like this, the chances of your friends and your family are pretty darn slim. But what Transcend Marketing's binary offers is it offers a compensation plan.
Yeah, she's literally gonna draw a pyramid or a triangle.
And it will search to infinity looking for what it needs to in order to pay us. So it doesn't matter whether you are first level to me or if you are 6,000 levels away from me, I have a vested interest in your success, and you'll find that I'm there for you. Now, at the bottom of each one of these legs is another position.
We're doing it!
In each position,
We're doing it! Yes! Yes! We're literally going to draw the pyramid!
So it continues to build down just like this.
Oh, hell yeah!
Now, one of the very cool things that the binary offers is what
I need to make
we
a
call
call.
spillover. And what that means is that this is your position within the organization, and let's say you...
Wow, I'm at the top? Oh, wait, no, I'm not? Oh, okay. So I'm one of the smaller ones down here. Okay.
In your first two friends, all right? You take your first friend and you place them here, your second one and you place them here. If you do have anybody, the third person that wants to get involved with this opportunity, that third person has no choice. You have no choice but to place them under one of the first two that got in the beginning, because
H-Baird with 40 bits says, new plan, we advocate to make everyone transition and let them negotiate us down to just allowing trans people to transition. I need to write one of those business books they sell at the airport. Yeah. Always ask for more than you really want.
Again, it doesn't go wide, it goes deep. And let's say they land right here, whoever got this position right there, they benefit from everything this third person does. Exactly the same as you. And in a little bit, that'll make a little more sense. Now, there are a few different ways that you can get involved with Transcend Marketing's opportunity here. To begin with, you can purchase what's called a one-pack. And a one-pack is $150. And what you're purchasing with that $150 is a 2-month supply of our lead product, Recapture HGH. Now,
HGH.
What's called the DefyAging.com pack.
Alright. Lovely pyramid scheme lady. I wonder how this went for her. Like, someone got a hold of this tape to rip it to YouTube. I wonder if this tape actually got her any new people on her downline.
Oh, thank you.
Order copies of this video, go to teamvisiononline.com. I'm gonna assume this company probably doesn't exist anymore. There are just so many other MLMs that do this kind of thing. Oh, this is entirely based on the name. I'm not even gonna lie. Don Gay's 1989 Worst Wrecks at the Rodeo. His name is Don Gay. That's the whole reason I picked this.
Hello, I'm Don Gay, and again this year I've selected what I believe are the worst wrecks from last season at Mesquite Championship Rodeo. Now, speaking for myself and for most of the guys who rodeo,
I'm
I'd say
assuming
the knowledge
he's
that
some
you're
sort of rodeo athlete. I don't know what the word for that would be. I'm sure there's a word. No disrespect against the rodeo. I'm not going to make fun of the rodeo. I will make fun of the fact that his name is Don Gay.
always just a step away from a wreck as part of the thrill. Rodeo, like so many other sports, is a game of inches.
Would they call them cowboys? I don't know. I don't know what people in the rodeo call themselves.
Way, and you've got a 90.
Is it cowboy? Okay.
Point ride. An inch the other, and you've got 2,000 pounds of trouble. That's right.
I've always wanted to ride a mechanical bull.
This bull's been out.
Does anyone know of a mechanical bull that I can ride?
I don't know, 20, 25 times and has not had a qualified ride. Tim Moore fixing to try his hand at riding Everett. He's going to turn back to the left first. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly as you said.
Now, right, look at him just jerk him down. He's staying to that left. You see David Burnham. He's got a knee brace on. As you said, he's got his spleen removed, so he's a little lighter and jump real high.
I feel like you got to be a little crazy to be a rodeo clown. For those that don't know, the entire point of a rodeo clown is, like, once the person gets thrown off, they're there to basically distract the bull so they don't maul the person who was just riding it. So the entire point of a rodeo clown is to get the attention of the angry murder beast and try and keep it away from other people. I don't know. That's a ballsy job. Wouldn't want to do it.
I'll tell you what, somebody got a little close to their action there. You can see Tim dripping blood, and I didn't see when that happened, Donnie, but it could have happened several times. Everybody really throwing him around.
Take another look at it here. Okay, we know he's going to turn left. He's doing okay there. Now, let's look right here. Coming around, that bull's hind foot looks like he probably
be a bit crazy to do rodeo at all. Probably true. All right, that's it. I showed you. His name was Don Gay. Haha. We move on. Oh no.
To put it here. Hi there! Yellow Dino here. You're about to see a show for parents and children about tricky people. Now, if you're wondering who tricky people are, well, to put it bluntly, they're people who want to harm children. Now, some of the scenes you'll see may be hard to think about, but you need to know who tricky people are and how to stay away from them.
Tricky people are pedophiles. They're using the euphemism of tricky people to talk around the subject of pedophiles at children.
Knowledge is power. And
green guy with a $3 tip says, Hannah, I make about $90K a year. 25 years ago, I asked my parents what they made for school, and it totaled $120K 25 years ago. It's like $240K now. What they spend it all on, their parents bought their homes for them. They acted like they were poor. That is wild. That is very strange. Ugh. It's all relative, too. Like, to me, you're wealthy. So, I don't know. It's all relative.
Knowledge? Even yellow dinos have to learn from somebody. So here's the one who taught me everything I know. The expert on protecting kids from those tricky people.
Ashley One Up says, come back, Cool Cat. All is forgiven. No. Cool Cat doesn't get forgiven. Not after Derek Savage's, Hood Rat video. Oh, boy. Rick M, thanks for an 80 stream streak, says, do those Japanese videotapes still play? I haven't gotten a chance to watch them yet. I have them sitting right here, but I haven't actually plugged in my VHS to the computer in a little bit. So, sometime this week, I'm gonna get to ripping them.
And Wagner!
Thanks, Yellow Dino. You know, we can keep our kids safe. There is a solution. Over 115,000 children every year.
I have a USB VHS. I have cables that do that, basically. It's out to AV, but I have AV to USB stuff.
Get away from tricky people. And how do they do it? They use their street smarts. Just like Yellow Dino said, knowledge is power. That's why we made this video for you. The story you are about to see is about a little girl who falls prey to a tricky person called Reginald Charming. In this startling and accurate portrayal of tricky people, you will learn how to recognize the behavior that means danger. Now, kids, after you watch this video, make sure that any questions you have, you turn to your mom or dad for help or to your teacher. Remember, knowledge will keep you safe. Yellow Dino and I believe that you deserve to be safe. You have the right to be safe, and you can be safe.
That would be nice, Phoenix. That'll be our plan B. Plan A will be voting. Plan B will be, Sudoku. Group style.
And it all begins.
That covers enough, yeah. And of course, by self-Sudoku, I mean we'll do puzzles together, just make sure that the rows have, 1 through 10, and so do the columns.
Right here, right now, with you.
I could escape to Canada. That's like plan D. That's after a bunch of other stuff happens. You know how hard it would be for me to try and seek asylum in Canada if things got all Handmaiden's Tale? I'd have to bring all my Blu-rays. You think I'm leaving this country without my goddamn Blu-rays? Not happening. I will die here, clasping Ultraman Nexus. Or Kamen Rider Ryuki. God damn it. Catmaid's Tale. Yep, that's good. Isn't it like a 40-minute drive? It is. It's probably closer to an hour. I think you underestimate how many Blu-rays I have. It would take multiple trips with a full car to take all of my movies. You could have a quite large SUV, and it would not fit all my Blu-rays. Peoplord says, I remember watching this video as a kid. I took everything literally, so I got really afraid of magicians. Really made things easier for my uncle. Oh! Yeah. A U-Haul could do it. A U-Haul could do it. Oh, I don't have a passport. So I can't leave the country. I don't have a passport. I've never had a passport. So that's the bigger issue.
Carmen, you're gonna get me in trouble. Come on. I told her that you said specifically that no one was supposed to come in.
To leave.
Ashley says, welcome to Canada, ma'am. Why do you have 3 truckfuls of only DVDs? And I would say, excuse you, they're Blu-rays, most of them. Some of them are 4K. A.
I'm sorry.
Is Yellow Dino like Barney's cousin who's struggling with liver disease? He's also related to Big Bird, but they don't talk anymore.
What's on your mind, Carmen?
I want the pictures.
Juggle? Okay, I can do that. I feel like sometimes people do the juggle command when I'm wearing the titty shirts intentionally. Which is fine. Drew them for a reason.
doing?
Who are you going to show them to?
Let go of me, I'm gonna tell!
So tell. You watch the news. You see what happens to little girls who tell.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Let's take a look. Let's see now, where's my favorite one? Here it is.
This does not match the tone of anything that has happened preceding to this.
I love this one.
Hey, Sushi Mom, how's it going? It has been quite a while.
What would you think if the...
It's okay. We can switch Carb Cozy, and I don't want to make people uncomfortable. I want to watch something fun with you guys, so I'll put on something different that isn't that loaded. We can do... Ooh, Scorched! Remember that dragon show we watched? Episode 2 is also online. It's basically Alf, but with a dragon, and it's not as good, and the plot is more convoluted. Basically, this dragon awoke and met this family, and then showed up to a guy going to a job interview to be a weatherman, and he wasn't going to get the job until the boss thought the dragon was a ventriloquist dummy that's like a bit. So now he lives with his daughter and this dragon, and also he takes the dragon to work, where he pretends the dragon is a dummy for his thing. I hope you mean turned over in a good way, Sushi Mom.
When you wake up with a fire in your belly, and your breath feels charred when you yawn, and your cave is covered in cobwebs, and suddenly 100 years are gone. When it seems as if your surroundings have all been tossed and twirled, remember...
That's great, Sushi Mom. I'm glad to hear things are going better.
Things happen at the right time, and you got all the time in the world. Oh yes. When you fly around in a tizzy, and your wings are pumping stale air, and you know something weird is happening, 'cause everything is different everywhere. When you can't find a knight or a dragon, and there's nowhere to get your horn curled, remember things happen at the right time, and you got all the time in the world. Yes, you got all the time in the world.
Theme song isn't that bad. It's not great either, but it's not that bad.
Cotton? Nylon.
Okay, that's a bit. That's at least a bit with the dragon. I can respect that. In the first episode, I also talked about how the actual puppet itself is pretty good, and they clearly put a lot of functionality in it for different gags. So yeah, good for the puppeteers. Consistently, when we have done failed pilots and failed, like, TV shows with puppets, I am always impressed by the puppeteering and the construction of the puppet. People put a lot of work into that stuff. It makes me sad that CGI basically killed the industry. Amber says, for what it's worth, I think Harris is going to win, and by a firm margin. The Seltzer poll, which is highly reliable, is predicting a 12 or 13-point swing for the Dems based primarily on older white women who remember what it was like before Roe. Moreover, Harris has done amazing fundraising and constructed a strong ground game. Having said that, don't get complacent. Vote, vote, vote. We're choosing our enemy. I would agree. I'm trying not to get too over-enthusiastic because I don't want to be disappointed, but I was given a little bit of hope by that poll. The really well-rated poll who has consistently been ahead of the curve in predicting that state. So, see what happens.
And... Whoa.
Can we take a break? I'm running out of steam.
What's the matter, you tired?
No, I'm running out of steam.
Wow. Great pleats.
Boy, does that
sound appetizing.
Really? I'm glad you like it, because here it comes again.
What's the matter, Scorch? Are you getting sick?
Nah, I probably just have a frog in my throat.
Yeah.
What's this called? Scorch? It's called Scorch. Have I ever told you guys that I, like, had ventriloquist dummies as a kid? And I, like, asked for them for Christmas? I was kind of a dorky-ass kid.
You eat frogs?
Jessica, it's just an expression.
No, it's not. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
It's probably nothing.
I guess it's not that surprising. I was into ventriloquist dummies. I did, like, an acting and improv class. Like, performance. Wonder if that'll ever amount to anything.
What are you doing now? Sounds like I'm barking.
What is going on here?
It's probably nothing. Or it could be something.
Well, if it is something, what could it be?
It could be the dreaded dragon flu.
Scorch.
Some of us remember Flimsy Flume. That's a little different. Flimsy Flume is a puppet, as opposed to a ventriloquist dummy. I didn't have puppets, I had ventriloquist dummies. There is a difference.
Maybe you should stay home today.
And also, Flimsy Flume's around here somewhere. I still have her. It's just that Mimsy Moom retired, so...
When I'm sick, I get to watch TV and eat ice
I appreciate that I've been streaming long enough that we can look back on different arcs we've had and different characters that appeared for a time and disappeared. Mimsy Moon, Peter, who dips in occasionally, but he's pretty much, you know, a past thing.
cream. I can
Call for an uprising.
take care of you.
Thanks, Jess, but I'm fine. Besides, I don't want to disappoint my fans.
That's right. The show must go on.
I made that up, you know. 400 years ago, during a violent storm at the Globe Theater. The show must go on.
You were an actor?
No, an investor.
Again, this is okay. The premise of this show is so confusing. It's a hat on a hat. It would have been enough to him have the dragon at his house, like Alf. But he also has this dynamic at work where he thinks he's a ventriloquist dummy.
Looks like you're getting worse.
Also, does that mean, I'm assuming that means that the guy playing the main character is the actual puppeteer for him, generally, because the way he holds him is like a ventriloquist. So I guess it could be animatronic. There are rigs where you can basically use an animatronic like it's a dummy, but not holding it yourself.
Good morning.
Oh, morning.
What do you say you and I ditch this guy and fly away together, huh?
Maybe tomorrow. The big boss is coming.
Oh, when's he due?
As soon as he's through walking on water.
Oh, a man with an ego.
With a capital E. Every year the station presents him with the Man of the Year award.
And what does he do to deserve this honor?
He signs our checks.
Something.
Oh, it's Jay Peterman. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. While I am using the bathroom, Chair will tell you about, oh, this is a good box set. Robin Hood at Hammer. This is a box set of the two Hammer Films Robin Hood movies. They tried to do stuff outside of horror, but it never really hit as big. So these Robin Hood movies were an attempt of them to do something outside of the horror genre. It didn't work. Be right back.
Really terrible has happened.
Someone put a 2-syllable word in your copy?
Allison, this is serious. I can't find my lucky comb.
Forgive me, I didn't know.
Tomorrow is the big day. I am supposed to present Mr. Ruther with the award.
I like it. The Man of the Year presented by the Dork of the Decade.
It was engraved to Howard Gurman. No other broadcaster on earth can hold a candle to you, either in performance or appearance.
They engraved that on your comb?
It's not important who engraved it.
Oh.
Maybe it's in your tote bag.
Good idea.
Okay, listen up. Mr. Ruther's on his way down here, and I want you people to be on your best behavior. As you know, he's a walking time bomb, and I don't want him exploding all over me.
This has got mayonnaise on it. I distinctly said no mayonnaise.
It's a little late for him to be laying off the mayonnaise, isn't it?
If you can't get a simple sandwich order straight, what the hell good are you?
Look at the size of him. I want to rip his shirt off and check for harpoon marks.
Good morning, Mr. Ruther.
Don't try to get on my good side. I don't have one.
Thank you for reminding me. And you remember Miss King?
He does look a little Rudy Giuliani-esque.
Miss King, the one ray of intelligent life that illuminates this otherwise dreary enterprise.
Just say the word and I'll set fire to his eyebrows.
Who said that?
If you'll excuse me, I have to go to the ladies' room.
I'll drive you.
Let me at this guy.
I looked in my pants. I looked in the men's room. I can't find it anywhere.
Find what?
His brain.
One can't lose what one doesn't possess. Gavin, I'm ready to see the material for my presentation.
I have it right here.
Oh yeah, old shit's
Somewhere?
incredibly cringe with its politics. It's very interesting. That's one of the things I like about it, and I don't mean I like that it's, like, offensive. I just mean it's insightful to the mindset of the culture of the time. Like, it tells you, what did people find appropriate, and what did people find funny? Why did they find that funny? What is the appropriate social behavior and discussion around certain topics, and how do you address those topics? Insightful, even in stupid bullshit like this, you know? Kind of what I like about it, is that even in stupid bullshit, you can, like, intuit things about the context in which it was made.
Settle down.
I can't help it. It makes me so nervous even my shorts are moist.
Stop that whispering. If you have something to say, say it to the room. Fletcher, what did Gurman say?
He said you make him so nervous, even his shorts are moist.
The world is populated by simpletons.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Ruther. Me too.
Don't agree with me, Gurman. It's demeaning.
Whatever you say. Oops.
Would you like to give me my award?
I'd rather do that than give you a sponge bath.
I traditionally...
Let's make the presentation funny and poignant, and if you have to, lie.
Boy, do we have some work to do.
Work? I can't work. I'm burning up here. Could you grab my third dorsal horn and see if I have a fever? Not that one. That was my traffic horn. Try the next one.
Ow, that's hot!
I knew it. I knew it.
You knew what?
I've got the dragon flu.
Phoenix says we watched Robin Hood Men in Tights on VC Archives the other night, and I'd completely forgotten about all the gay and trans jokes. Oh yeah, trans jokes, I mean gay jokes definitely, but trans jokes pervade a lot, and they're like the rudest fucking jokes too. Like, I can take a joke. I'm the kind of person that I'm pretty self-deprecating. Like, I'm not saying they're off-topic things, but if the whole joke is just, oh, trans people are disgusting, like, that's not even a joke. That's just, like, hate, like, in the form of a joke. That's not a joke. The joke just becomes the person. Hate it. Ace Ventura's real bad at that. That's, like, the example. There are others, but, like, the whole climax of that movie and its emotional, like, intensity is dependent on you as the audience being disgusted by the concept of a trans woman existing. And it's a shame, because I like a lot of that movie, but holy shit, the end ruins it. The end ruins it.
The dragon flu?
The dragon flu.
Jim Carrey has since apologized for that.
Now this stuff, my tail is pounding, my horns are throbbing, my wings
But
are...
I don't really care what Jim Carrey thinks. He's an anti-vaxxer, so, like, I don't really respect his opinion in any case.
Aching. How about you...
He makes a good Dr. Robotnik, and that's enough at this point, I guess.
You ever felt like this?
Scorch,
I just want to see him blow up the
tail,
moon.
horns, or wings.
No wonder you can't get a date.
But a dummy giving the award instead of me?
Nobody will notice the difference.
Please?
Howard.
Come on, bended knee.
Howard.
In really good trousers.
Howard, what do I have to do to get you out of my office?
Let me do the presentation.
Howard, it's Mr. Ruther's decision. If it were up to me, I'd run things a lot differently.
Really?
Really, I'd fire you.
You're joking.
I'm not.
I'm leaving.
He was also on Seinfeld as the lady that didn't like to wear a bra, right? And then she got gifted a bra and just wore the bra as a top.
Jack won't talk to Ruther.
Speaking of which, Seinfeld is getting released on 4K in December.
I suppose you
Which
tried...
is shocking to me. Blu-ray, I was kind of waiting for. I expected Blu-ray. Seinfeld is coming out on 4K.
Whining?
It didn't work.
Did you try begging?
A little. Frankly, I think my strong suit is whining.
You know what you might try?
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld sucks.
Tell him...
Seinfeld is the least funny part of Seinfeld. The funny parts of Seinfeld are broadly George Costanza, who is the funniest character, Kramer's okay, and why am I blanking on her name suddenly? She's in Veep. Jesus Christ. She's quite funny, too, depending on the episode.
You'll kill yourself.
But yeah, Seinfeld is definitely the straight man. Elaine, thank you.
You really think that might work?
It's worth a shot.
Wait a minute. What do I do if he calls my bluff?
You give the award posthumously.
Oh, very funny.
So then you add the molasses, brown sugar, mustard, baked beans, and then what?
We mix in the applesauce, and then we're done.
Thank you.
Welcome.
No.
I'm sorry, I think good comedy choice. There's something viscerally disgusting about looking at someone eating a giant bowl of baked beans. The clear bowl where you can see the big thing of baked beans. Good choice.
Pretty darn good.
Reminds me a little bit of, has anyone seen The Substance yet? The Substance is a great movie, body horror, that came out recently with Demi Moore. That has a really great scene of disgusting eating that really sticks with you, and this gives me the same vibe.
Thanks a ton. I mean a lot.
Good afternoon. The temperature today will drop to a chilly 22 degrees, so if you're going outside tonight, I suggest you take along something to keep you warm.
Like a fireplace. Uh-oh. I gotta go home.
Tomorrow will be partly cloudy.
You gotta do this without me. I gotta go home.
With a slight chance of...
Ow! Look, if there's any dragons watching, I need help. I've got the dragon flu. I need the remedy that starts with, take 2 cups of finely chopped owls, blend in a teaspoon of...
Of what? Excuse me, Scorch seems to be having a problem. Scorch seems to have lost his voice, so I guess if you want to know what the weather is, you should just look out the window.
We're clear.
Does he not even know the meteorological stuff?
Word on my comb.
We're checking the airports. Not so fast, Stevens. What kind of a stupid idea was that? A ventriloquist dummy with laryngitis?
Gee, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting concept.
Well, you were wrong. No more laryngitis. No more dragon flu. I want you to act the way the people expect you to. You talk, then Scorch talks. Then you talk, then Scorch talks.
Yes, sir.
And don't mess up the presentation for Mr. Ruther.
Oh, yeah, about that presentation. I know this is going to sound crazy, but just out of curiosity, I wonder what you would think if I told you Scorch was a little too sick to do it.
I'm going to forget you said that.
Thank you.
You like show business?
Yes, sir.
You want to stay in show business?
Yes, sir, I do.
You and your dummy will be here tomorrow and you will do the show. You understand? Or you will never work in this town again. Got it?
Got it! What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
I mean, we can't go on if you've got laryngitis.
You're right about that.
Scorch, wait a minute. You got your voice back. We're gonna be okay.
That's what you think. I got the...
I just noticed the hands on Scorch. They're actually, all the fingers are articulating. Is there a person's hands in there? Or do they just have really good animatronic hands?
Yeah, you got your voice back.
No, they have to be animatronic because there's only 4 fingers on each hand, and all of the fingers individually articulate.
That's what you think. I got the dragon flu. There's a whole bunch of other symptoms.
They put so much work into this goddamn puppet. I'm so sad that it was in service of a not very good show because the puppet's great.
Yeah, like what?
Like fainting.
Like, look at the hands. The dragon is not a puppet in the show's universe, but the people at the news station think he is. See, it's a confusing premise. It's not a show that, especially in like the 90s, you need the premise of your show to be relatively evident if someone's kind of flipping through and they can catch a 5-minute segment and kind of get it. This is a confusing premise to just pop on and be like, what's going on? Oh, he's a puppet, but he's not a puppet. They think he's a puppet. Is he a puppet? He seems not to be a puppet. How many episodes of this are there? I see 3 of them available online. I don't know how many were produced. H-Baird says, maybe it isn't a puppet. Maybe they actually met a dragon and put him on a sitcom. That's even more convoluted. How many layers can we pull out of this sitcom and make it its own sitcom? 6 episodes? Okay, that's not too bad.
Here's another blanket.
Oh, thanks.
I think we'd better check your heart.
Good idea. Am I still alive?
You're so silly.
I found the nose drops. Put your head back.
I know you won't like this, but it's good for you.
I remember when my Uncle Edgar had the dragon flu. He had it for 19 years.
You could have the dragon flu for 19 years?
If I live that long.
What happened to your uncle?
He kicked the bucket.
He died?
No, he kicked the bucket. That's one of the symptoms, bucket kicking.
This is the weirdest sickness I've ever heard of.
What's the worst that could happen?
My warts could fall off. My skin would get all smooth and ugly and yuck. No offense.
Dad, we should take his temperature.
Does that go up to 350 degrees?
No, it goes up to 6.
Wait a minute. I've got an idea.
What are you doing?
Well, just let Dr. Stevens take care of this.
Oh.
Don't worry. Daddy takes care of me when I'm sick.
Yeah?
Ah!
What's that?
A meat thermometer.
Are you out of your mind?
What's the problem? You stick it in your mouth.
Oh, my mouth.
Open wide.
Anal joke.
Put it under your tongue and don't talk.
Sitcoms don't have enough dragon anal jokes these days.
How bad is it?
For a dragon, I'm pretty sick, but for a pot roast, I'm medium well.
Say,
That felt very Groucho Marx. For a dragon, I'm very sick. For a pot roast, I'm medium well.
Wow! There's a tiny little blue flame in there.
That's my pilot light.
I see a couple of spoons, a pencil. Oh, and there's a big ball of something with yellow stripes on it.
Not in a crisscross pattern.
Yeah, how'd you know?
Scorch ate my good socks.
They weren't that good.
Let's take a real look in there. This won't hurt a bit.
What? Oh. But what's this black melted thing down there? Oh, there's some writing on it. To Howard Gurman.
You ate Howard's comb.
Drove him crazy, didn't it?
Would you like some soup?
I don't know.
When I'm sick, I always have chicken soup.
Can I have some with matzo balls?
You eat matzo balls?
No, I eat the soup. I sit on the matzo balls.
And that makes you well.
No, but I like the way it feels.
Scorch, will you quit goofing around?
Goofing around? I'm the one with the chills, the aches, the fever, and the worst is yet to come.
Like what?
Like memory loss and uncontrollable swearing.
Uncontrollable swearing? Scorch, you wouldn't do that on the air, would you?
Not if I was well.
And Daddy doesn't allow swearing in the house.
Oh, then I'll go outside.
Scorch.
Keeplord says it's a meat thermometer. I think it's a sounding joke. No one in the 90s knew what sounding was. I won't say no one. Obviously, there are people in kink communities in the 90s that did. But the average random sitcom writer in the 90s did not know what sounding was. It was an anal thermometer joke. It was a rectal thermometer joke.
Anything we can do to help you feel better?
Well, there is one thing.
What's that?
You could get your elbow off my wing!
Well, let's put you to bed.
Brian?
Yeah?
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I can see the hairs in your nose.
I'll take the tail. You okay?
I can't sleep.
Me either.
It's just that I miss my mommy. I remember whenever I used to get sick, she'd carry me into the cave, nestle me under her wing, and gently lick my belly. Then she'd sing to me, "Little dragon tuckered out, mommy's here to kiss your snout. Lying in your bed of gold, starve a fever, feed a cold."
Wow. I bet your mom's really pretty.
She's beautiful. She's got a pair of wings that won't quit.
My mom's pretty too.
The Scorched want to fuck his mom?
I hope someday your mommy can meet my mommy, if I can ever find her.
Maybe they could go shopping together.
Jess, Scorch needs his rest.
Okay. I love you.
You do?
Uh-huh.
What about him?
Daddy loves you too.
Let me hear him say it.
Daddy, tell Scorch you love him.
I love you.
With all your heart?
You know, this is getting a little too...
I know it. It was all lies. It was all lies.
All right. With all my heart.
With all your heart, what?
This is getting really...
I know it. I just know it. I know it.
Okay. With all my heart, I love you.
You're not just saying that.
Marcosian, why is this... How is that even a consistent problem? How often is your friend talking about bukakis loudly in public? Like, I'm not even joking with that question. I'm confused how often this comes up and why it comes up so often. Yeah, obviously too much. What do you... Like, why? Why is it coming up consistently?
Just time for bed.
Okay. Good night.
Why does she bring it up? Why does she bring it up, though? What's the context?
Brian, I've been thinking I'm going to try to go into work tomorrow.
We'll discuss that in the morning.
No, I don't want you to lose your job.
I can always get another one.
I've seen your work, and I'm not so sure.
Out of the blue, it's just always on her mind. You know, I'm not gonna kink shame, but, like, you gotta keep that shit in check. I don't know, whatever.
Brian, would you do me a favor?
You got it, buddy. Anything.
If I should end up in that big dragon cave in the sky...
Oh, Scorch.
No, this is important. Would you carry out these sacred burial rites for me?
Well, what do I have to do?
Take me to the tallest volcano in the land.
Yeah?
Pick me up in your arms.
Yeah?
Chant my name 12 times.
Yeah?
And then jump in with me.
You are impossible. Nick, get some sleep.
Sleep? I'm all achy and I'm sore. You gotta be kidding. I'm in such pain and agony. I'm never gonna be able to...
How did I ever let you talk me into this?
It's because I'm smarter than you. Look, if we get through this, everything will be all right.
And if we don't, we're never gonna work in this town again.
I hope you're happy.
Well, I definitely am not happy. However, I am sleepy, grumpy, dopey, and sneezy.
Look at this. Your idiotic plea for flu remedies has completely screwed up our switchboard. We've received crank calls from every nitwit in New Haven. Dear Scorch, you made a mistake. The right bowels aren't for dragon flu. They're for athlete's claw. Signed, Reginald Dragon.
Reginald Dragon? No. I knew a Robert Dragon, but I haven't seen him in over 600 years. We used to play handball at the Wailing Wall. What a complainer! It was in, it was out, it hit the line. A camel touched it.
What's a stupid muffler for?
I'm sick.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
He's sick. I told you.
Not only are you sick, but you're sick too.
Here we go, everybody. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Allison King. Welcome to a special segment of New Haven at Noon, the Man of the Year Award. And here to present it, Brian Stevens and his little friend Scorch.
The prestigious Afternoon News Award.
And now to the business at hand. Scorch and I are proud to present this year's Man of the Year Award to... Tell him, Scorch.
Tell him what?
Tell him who we're giving the award to.
What award?
The award for Mr. Ruther.
Who's Mr. Ruther? Hey, and who are you? And who am I?
Oh, no. Your memory. We gotta get out of here.
What's going on?
Oh, mind your own business, you.
What did you call me?
I called you a... Brian. Oh, Brian.
Scorch, you got your memory back.
Yeah, but I think you better get your hand off my mouth.
Why?
Because what goes down must come up.
Oh, no, you're not gonna do that.
Oh, yes, I am.
Scorch, are you all right?
That was the last symptom. The dragon flu is over. My face, it's wrinkled. It's scaly. Oh, hooray!
Scorch, we still need to give Mr. Ruther his award.
Here.
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 I don't get a speech.
Okay. For an overweight bald guy with a bad temper, you're kind of cute.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a... Did I just bark?
Sort of.
Scorch, by any chance, is the dragon flu contagious?
A little.
Who clicker trained the sitcom star?
Why did you tell me the dragon flu was contagious?
Why didn't you ask?
Daddy, Scorch and I have a surprise for you. Make you feel better.
Oh, that's very sweet, darling.
Ready? Come on.
Yeah.
Brian, sick in bed. Try to rest your weary head. There is nothing you can do. You have got the dragon flu. If tonight your ears turn red, tomorrow you will wake up dead. I'm only kidding. La.
Weirdly, I think this show could have worked with some tweaks. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too enamored with the puppet to see things clearly, but I kind of like the puppet. What do I want to do? Okay. This is literally a video all about how great barns are.
Major funding for this program was
Mid-February in eastern South Dakota. The wind chill is minus 45. It's what the old-timers called weather not fit for man nor beast. And certainly not in these old barns. They were built years ago for dairy cattle, for beef, for hogs, horses, and poultry. This one dates back to 1916. It's owned by a father and his son, Joe and Leon Sparts. Leon is the third generation on this place. From the outside, you'd think this was just another drafty old South Dakota barn. But inside...
I love videos like this, because this is called Barn Again. Get it? From 1990. There were videos like this where clearly people in the past had, like, very specific hyperfixations, just like people do now, especially if they're neurodivergent, you know? But back then you were just guy who was really into barns. I don't know.
It's warm and cozy. Joe and Leon might have let it fall apart.
Or you were like train guy.
Instead, they fixed up the 75-year-old structure and made it useful for their hog operation. This is modern American agriculture.
Whoa.
Hogs farrow year-round in this insulated, temperature-controlled facility where contented sows nurse their piglets.
Is it content? I don't know if it's like thrilled with the living conditions, but okay. Yay!
A 100 years ago, 85% of Americans lived on farms. Today, 85% of us live in urban areas. And a whole generation of Americans is growing up with little knowledge of rural life.
If a barn isn't somewhere in our backgrounds, I think we're all disadvantaged folks. If you were a little kid and just went out and sat in an old wagon under a shed when you were a child, I think you were richer for pretending that it was the cowboys and Indians or something. You know, it was a fantasy, and it's a mystery. It's a romance. A barn is a romance. It's part of the history of this country.
To me, the question is not...
See what I mean? Again, I have nothing against this. If you are entranced by the magic of the nostalgia of an American barn, I have nothing against it. I'm tickled by the very specific things that bring people joy. And even if I don't get it, I like it.
Why do people find barns...
That's probably healthy.
...attractive? But why did it take so long before people did understand that they're attractive? It's so many people who grew up on the farm and remembered primarily the pain, the difficulty, economic troubles.
Trey says, fun fact, the reason why barns are red is because traditionally the best way to prevent water damage and damage from insects was to mix together rust from old chains and other scrap metal in some kind of wood or seed oil. Oh, that makes sense. That's kind of cool.
The hard work, who had a hard time looking then at that building as being simply a place of pleasure and beauty. It was too familiar to them to be beautiful. But now people have the opportunity to stand back a little bit, take a look at it, realize that it's endangered.
I don't think we could farm today like they did back in the days when this barn was built. Not this kind of acres, because we've gotten bigger acre-wise because you have to make a living. And these people that laid this barn up, that had to take an enormous amount of time to shape them blocks up and put them up like that. I don't think I'd have the patience.
I like that he's recognizing he wouldn't have the patience, but also isn't speculating that it's a secret Tartarian building.
Large barns that were built 50 or 100 years ago served several functions. Under the roof in a large loft area, hay and
Yes,
bedding
Trey, you're the one with the barn hyperfixation.
were stored for the animals which were housed below. Horses were kept in stalls. Cows were milked in another area.
All right.
Some barns even had a corner reserved for chickens. These farms were labor-intensive, with the farmer owning several teams of horses and employing a number of hired hands. A couple of times during the summer, everyone on the farm pitched in to put up hay. The clover, alfalfa, and prairie grasses were cut at maturity by a mower pulled by a team of horses. After the hay had dried in the hot summer sun, it was loaded onto a wagon.
Still own, and the timbers were all cut on the property and fashioned in our own mill. So we were pretty
Look at that joint.
self-sufficient very early on.
I gotta imagine, no, someone would look at this and go, ooh, look at that.
Shakers,
look at that craftsmanship.
just having drawn very
Look at that solid pine.
industrious people, we're always looking for a better way to do things.
Ugh. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to cover before we called it a night? We'll make fun of something I like. Here's an old video from 1997 explaining the magic of DVD.
You know what this is? It looks like a compact disc, but the truth is it's a sound and picture technology that's just beginning to happen. And it's going to change the way we entertain ourselves. It's called DVD.
Whoa!
The amount of technical imagination inside here, it's almost scary. In designing it, they started here, where they could put millions of tiny little impressions in the surface of the disc. That's where they store all the sound and picture information. On one layer, about 2 hours of information. With a second layer, a little more than 4 hours. Now multiply that times 2 sides, and that comes out to about 7.5 times what they can put on a compact disc.
Okay, don't put movies on 2 sides. I hate the discs you have to flip.
An amazing amount of...
Also, I learned something the other day. This is kind of fun. I don't know why anyone would ever need to know this other than me or another Blu-ray or DVD person, but you can see the actual size in terms of storage space for Blu-rays based on barcodes that are on the bottom of
moving
them.
images and sound.
Hold on, if I can get this out of the case without breaking it. Bad case. Blu-ray cases are getting worse. I'm telling you. There we go. Okay. So, I don't know how visible this is going to be, but basically, on the bottom of Blu-ray discs, this also goes for 4Ks. In this central ring area, you'll see some, like, barcode sections. This isn't super visible for you, so I apologize for that. But basically, in this region that I'm pointing at, there are sort of like barcodes, and there's multiple layers. The more layers of barcodes they are, the bigger storage, and this one has 2 layers, so this is a bigger storage Blu-ray disc. The same thing goes for 4K discs, but they can have up to 3 barcodes. No one needs to know that, but now you do. You're welcome. Also, if anyone cares, that's a Brides of Dracula Blu-ray and Curse of the Werewolf.
Now, as for the sound itself, DVD uses a format called AC3, a sort of invisible network where all the music and dialogue and sound effects are placed into different channels. This is Steve Thompson from Dolby Laboratories, the people who designed AC3.
In our experience, we find that people walk into a demo of DVD or multi-channel audio in general and go nuts about it. I mean, it's something that really, really heightens the experience. Multi-channel sound offers creators of interactive programming and music to create.
Do I like the YouTube channel Technology Connections?
You've heard of disposable.
I haven't seen a ton of it, but the episodes I have seen I enjoyed. Like, I've seen this episode, Flex Play, the disposable DVD that failed, thankfully. Basically, I've watched some VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray technical stuff from him, but he's really great. I like his set, too. Very colorful and fun. Group of different old technologies. Those, like, one-time or two-time use DVDs, what a disgusting idea.
Complete three-dimensional sound spaces for their programs, put you inside of a video game, or put you inside of a concert hall with the ambience of the room behind you and the orchestra on stage, or even turn that around and put you as a member of a given section of the orchestra, maybe looking out into the concert hall.
See what I mean? Technical imagination. And not just for the sake of being technical. For Pioneer, it has to do with entertainment. Your entertainment. And what they insist on giving you is the best sound and picture.
Oh! Stop me up! Copyright infringement and I get in trouble.
Saw it the first time you heard it, you could tell that videotape wasn't even close. But now, going beyond Laserdisc, here's where DVD gets even better. The pictures.
I have a big box of laser discs that Mr. Blast brought over for me to show you guys, and I don't have them upstairs yet. Because I haven't picked up the big box, because it's very heavy. There is a big box of a lot of, like, kaiju films from Japan on Laserdisc downstairs. And Home Alone.
The sound's great, but the capacity they've designed in here. Film studios, for example, can actually put different size versions of the same movie all on one disc. The standard television shape, 4x3 full screen. They'll put
What's
that
the
on.
Camera direction for this? 90s. Late 90s. Whoa! We're just all over the place. MTV editing. MTV helped propagate that kind of editing style into the sort of zeitgeist.
On the disc. Or you could watch it in the letterbox.
It's alright, 9/11 killed this editing style, so.
Version, which gives the screen a little wider feel. It brings down the top and brings up the bottom. That can be on the disc. But if you're ready for this, the complete, full-on, just the way you see it in the theater, CinemaScope and widescreen panorama version. They can put that on there too. Now think about this. Multiple languages. Multiple subtitles. Let's say I'm the movie, okay? But you want to hear me in French.
Aimeriez-vous m'entendre en français?
Or Spanish.
En español?
Or back to English. But you want to read the subtitles in French, or Spanish, or maybe Italian, maybe Japanese. Actually, you could have as many as 32 subtitles all on one disc. But what for? Technical imagination? Well, a lot of that is what makes DVD possible. Pioneer can see that people these days, well, we're more aware of movies and concerts than we were before. So we want to choose what we watch and the way we want to watch it. We're starting to get our own ideas about entertainment. With DVD, it's possible you could choose from more than one storyline in the same movie, different versions.
That's funny. I've seen special things on DVD a few times that do something similar. Like, for instance, I have Dragon Slayer 2, and I don't have Dragon Slayer 1, unfortunately, but the Space Ace one I also have, which it's basically, if you're not familiar with Dragon Slayer, it's a full-motion video game that's like watching a cartoon, but then things will show up on screen, and you have to hit the button quick enough, and the journey can continue, otherwise your character dies. So, stuff like this does utilize sort of that kind of thing. Final Destination 3 also had a special feature where you could kind of choose the story and choose different events happening, and they used, oh look! Unstable Deadbeat! You also know! Hell yeah! Okay. Final Destination 3 had that, one. And it was pretty fun, because there were actually endings that would end the movie early. Pretty good. But I haven't seen it much other than that. Don Bluth fucks you up in that, right? Yeah. Yeah, he does.
And if there's a version you don't want to see, you can lock it out. And for every capability that I've mentioned, there's another 2 or 10 or 20 that I haven't talked about yet. That's how powerful this is. And you're going to see DVD in a lot of places and being used in a lot of different ways.
By the way, if anyone has the first Dragon Slayer on Blu-ray, please send it to me. I'm desperate to get it, but it's hard to find.
But that's exactly why Pioneer is being so careful to guide us through this technology as we go along. Like making sure there's a way for us to play a compact disc, a laser disc, and a DVD all in the same player.
Do I have a Laserdisc player, or should I send you one of mine for Christmas? Harold Eldman, if you send me a Laserdisc player, that would be incredible. You're under no obligation, because that would be a crazy gift. But that would be just incredible, because I have Laserdiscs I've never been able to watch.
1923. Even back then, an important social thinker says this. He says, what we owe to the play of imagination is incalculable. Technical imagination. I think that's part of it. Because for all the amazing things that could happen between you and the sound and images inside here, Pioneer knows that this, ultimately, can only be measured by the first pulse of your imagination and the final moment of your experience.
You're awesome, Harold Edelman. Thank you. That's awesome. And that's my hyperfixation, so you're welcome. The barn people can laugh at me now. I'll tell you what's not been replaced by streaming services. Barns! You need a place for your animals to sleep at night? Barns! Netflix didn't destroy their hyperfixation, that's all I'm saying. Who gets the last laugh? The barn people, once again. That sounds good, Phoenix. That sounds good. Alright, I think we're done for the day. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I enjoy hanging out and watching some stuff like this with you. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, maybe not. I have electrolysis tomorrow, and if that's rough, which it has been lately, I might not stream. But I'll definitely see you Tuesday for Tinfoil Tuesday, and to talk about election stuff a little bit. Bye, Sushi Mom. I hope I'll see you around more often. If not, it was really good to see you, and I'm glad you're doing well. So yeah. Have a great night. Let's see who we're gonna raid on Twitch. Should it be Chud Watch Tuesday? No. I'm gonna do stuff that avoids the election mostly Tuesday to give people a break, because I'm sure people are gonna be stressed, to say the least. I don't know. So I don't know. Sometimes I like to be the person that allows people to get their mind off of politics. So Tuesday, that might be it. But if all goes well, we will be doing Manga Cope streams. Like Wednesday, Thursday, depends. We'll see what happens. Alright, anyway, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging out. And, I don't know, just have a great night. And try and stay not too stressed. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. No matter what, we're here for each other, for what that's worth. Alright, have a great night, everyone. Love you, Mr. Blast. See you later.